focus on the camera.
What? I'm so good!
Now all in silence in a 1v4. He takes 2. Down goes both. Can he stay alive? He downs another 1v1 on the Kento and he wins it!
Clutch this round out for IF. He gets 2. That's a defeat. That's huge. Mikey, no, so
Oh my!
on the drop. Where Subarctic is sprinting around desperately, and we're going to overtime.
Oh my God! Ashen! It's high noon. There's the 1v2 and 5-1/2 for Surf.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to, well, the final bout of, well, not the final bout, but one of the latter parts of SCS Season 6. I am Lynx, joined by Benny, and we have another set of winners and elimination matches today. And, well, we're starting out with the winners match, first up.
Yeah, we got some great matches today, but hey, yesterday was still some fantastic matches too. You know, we casted, me and Lynx casted the first game, and then Lynx and Crow casted the second game here with Mystic, Noob Slayers, and second game was...
Dude, I believe in you. I believe in you so hard. You got this.
No, it wasn't Shift.
No, it was not Shift.
I'm trying to think who was.
I was there, but I'm just making you suffer.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
You
remember
probably
now
went to
who
bed right after.
I did go to bed right after. Yeah, I ate food and went straight to bed. I was knocked out.
That's
I'm
fine.
trying
I'll
to
cut you
think.
some slack. It was Chess Club versus I almost said Guidance Gaming. Different team. Gasher's Goons.
Dude,
Two double G's.
Dude,
But-
that's a throwback.
No, I looked at my notes to make sure I didn't mess it up, and I was like, as I always do, because I'm lazy, I write down the acronyms of teams. I was like, CC versus GG. I was like, that's not the right team. I was like, oh, Gasher's Goons, as you can see on the screen. And well, to fill you all in, again, it was another 2-0. We've not had a lot of 3 mappers, really, have we, Benny?
No, a lot of these matches have been kind of one-sided, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Then again, we did have some close ones yesterday, both the Chess Club and the Gasher's Goons game. Both those maps were 7-5, but both won by Chess Club, unfortunately. The latter one on Coastline in particular, the one you're seeing right now, you're going to see Chess Club go up really, really high. In fact, I want to say 6-2. Might be wrong, but either way, they were up drastically in the lead. In fact, I think it was 6-2. Well, they win
Looks
this
like,
round,
yeah,
so
looks
yeah.
like that's 6-2, yeah.
And then they almost came back, Benny. It was 6-5. And then they did a little bit of trolling, unfortunately. As sometimes tends to happen.
You know, sometimes you fall prey to some trolling.
Yeah, this right there.
Oh.
So yeah,
that is.
basically what happened was it was a 2v4, obviously, and Mr. B was sitting in front of kitchen window where Gasher was playing, but then Gasher was like, screw it, I'm going to service door. And it was like, okay, but then Mr. B is now in front of the kitchen window you were watching, and then he won the round and the game and knocked you down into the deciding match.
Sometimes you fall for a little bit of trolling.
Lucky.
It happens. Hey, let's see again. Let's see the leaderboard and see what players are still doing the best. And I'm pretty sure this hasn't changed much.
No, it has not. In fact, there's been some adjustments, but 2 things that have been consistent are, I believe, actually all 4 of our top players right now have not changed. Barring still far ahead on the entry, probably because, well, in one of the games he's played, he went 6-0 on the entry, so it's gonna boost his stats a little bit in that department. Mikey's still taking the reins in both rating and cost. You will see me mention that later, as I have also mentioned it a couple times this week. Then of Dami, of course, top of survivability, but we actually have less 50% now, though, since some more games. Now we only have 4. Before we had, like, at least 6.
It was the entire list.
Yeah, so it was everything there. We had 6 guaranteed. Now, a little bit different. In fact, Mikey is not at 50% survival. He's only got 46.
Yeah, and especially now that we have, the 2
Terrible.
teams playing today, or many of these players on that roster or on those leaderboards are playing today, so they might change up. But here we are, the brackets so far for this group. Of course, our first game, KARN versus ARIAL Academy, the winners game. And then later on today will be the elimination game between West Garfield and Shift.
I gotta say, seeing West Garfield in that was not something I anticipated. Something I will also bring up when we talk about the teams in particular. So to see them have the potential to go up pretty early when it seemed like they were, honestly, pretty good shot to really go super far in this league, especially based on the roster. All former pros, all very talented former pros at that. Now, it's not to say they're out. They could still win their match against Shift and then move on to the decider, but I don't know. I've seen crazier things happen. Just a team lose 2 best-of-3s, have a couple off days. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, you know, it's just, I guess we have to too high expectations for, I guess, because players have the history on them. They have the pedigree, but that doesn't mean they're going to play well together per se, or play, you know, well in these best of 3s against other teams per se. So anything can happen, hey, but, you know, we'll see what happens. That's going to be later today. We still have our game first up, though. We have our game. And what's our game? It's KARN & Co versus ARIAL Academy. In case you forgot, in which case, how could you? If you did, we'll remind you. What's cool about these teams? Well, KARN & Co in particular, for a long time, they were, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, they were a little bit of a yikes, it seemed like. But last week, in their game against West Garfield Park, oh boy, was that something special. It was a 2-0 victory, and one where I was pretty sure West Garfield were going to win. And one of the key players was Mikey, who we've mentioned quite a few times on both SCS and other streams like Challenger League, that he's been underperforming, uncharacteristically given his history, and he topped the leaderboards by far and away the best player in the lobby during that day. If KARN & Co want to make it to playoffs and clinch that spot early, he's got to be the key to their success. The only weak point I would say in terms of the players was Feltwinter, who's the newest addition to the roster and is still taking time to adjust. I'm highlighting that because if Feltwinter has a good game and the rest of the roster is able to recapture the success they had against West Garfield Park, this could be a quick 2-0. Based on just how incredible the other 4 players performed, especially Mikey and Zeno. If Feltwinter can get up to that level, it's wraps. Hey, I'm glad I bet on KARN & Co last week, because that was a great match. But hey, we got ARIAL Academy, you know, a roster that's came back to Siege, one that we called the pug stack that could, especially based on the performance last stage of how far they went. They beat so many CL teams per se, like Wichita Wolves, like Nocturnes, like Two-Face, though those teams were, some of those rosters were rebuilding. But now we have expectations of them. Now they're scrimming. Now they're actually playing together as a team. They're not really that pug stack anymore. And in Destiny today, we've seen last week, Dawi play so well in their match against Shift. Now they have to do, well, some of the same of that. Because in the past, that was always kind of an issue, seeming Doming or some of the players not really come up to fruition or kind of play to the role they need to. Well, let's compare a couple of the players on the rosters. I mentioned Mikey being a big standout, of course, is always Zeno, but Mikey and Dami, both the two by far and away highest rated players here on both of these rosters, playing similar roles as well. Mikey played that Sophia for quite a long time on Lenny GG. Now, in his one game, obviously, you know, most played opposite Buck, but you can expect him to be on similar roles to Dami throughout the course of this series. And, of course, probably be some of the standout players on those entry roles. Of course, some other players, Zeno and Spiker, I think, Benny, would be both very good and probably the most likely candidates for second best players on these rosters, at least in terms of stats and getting on the leaderboard. So yeah. Mikey and Dami might be our highlight players, but really there is layers of talent on both these rosters that you should keep your eye out on. Yeah, we've seen most of the pretty much all these players really come out in some way during either quals or during the game's last stage. So, you know, we have high expectations for this game. And well, where we're going to this match for our maps, because that's going to be the most important part. That's going to be something I want to see, because we're sick of these old maps. We're sick of these freaking these maps that we always see every single week. I have to say, in an ironic and odd twist of fate, I've actually seen quite a bit of Coastline recently, so very weird how that turned out. Still liking it. I was about to say, like, I'm totally chill with it. Don't worry. But this was a map pool I gotta say, I did not expect to see coming out here. Coastline I thought might come through, but it'd be ARIAL Arise's pick. Instead, it is KARN & Co.'s pick. That pick exhilarates me. I am excited, Benny. Because when you think KARN & Co., you do not think Coastline. Nope, not at all. Not at all. And then like ARIAL Academy picking Bank. I don't know when the last time we even saw Bank. Yeah, in general, even. When I'm thinking of teams that pick Bank, I'm thinking of, okay, you know, they've been a team for a while. Well, ARIAL Academy have been a team for a good bit of time now, but, like, I'm talking months upon months. Yeah, you think it seems like Wichita Wolves. Yeah, exactly. They're willing to experiment with some of the newer maps in the pool. Sure, Bank isn't new anymore, but it is the newest by quite a wide margin. Yet ARIAL Academy are like, yeah, we want to go there. Clubhouse is a decider. I'm totally fine with that. Sure, it's a bit more of a standard map, but that's where KARN & Co. 7 forward West Garfield. It's where ARIAL Academy have progressively looked better and better over the course of Stage 1 on that map. For all I know, these could be the worst picks for both these teams, but the fact that these two are subverting my expectations from what I historically associate with them, or what might be associated with the archetypes of these teams, I'm happy.
all
Definitely.
good. It should be exciting
I
because
am
of that.
100%. Like, it's just because we've seen KARN and Co. You talk about in the past when they were livid, when they're champions. We always had issues when it comes to that roster, when it came to playing new maps, aggressive maps. Now they're picking Coastline. And then, of course, the pug stack that is Aerial Rise Academy. You would expect them to pick Bank.
I've regretted it last night. During the Mystic game, the entire time, I was like, I should have picked Mystic. I had a gut feeling to change it. Should have picked Mystic. I ignored my instincts once. I will not do it again. Verme, switch my vote.
Don't do it. Don't do it for me.
I'm
Come
going-
on. He
I'm
already
going-
put
I'm
Aerial
going
Rise
Carnival.
Academy. Don't
No,
let-
no, no, no. You can do it before the match starts. There is precedent.
But you
on
saw
that,
the
and I will
maps,
cite
though.
it. I'm not choosing it because of the maps.
No,
I'm not choosing it because of the maps. Also, we've still changed our predictions based on the maps before, okay? That is not a new thing. I'm not gonna Harrison tried to change it after map 1. Okay? That's about right.
That's
Draw the
filthy.
line. Once the game starts and we start seeing gameplay, you can't change it. Can't change it.
Yeah,
Here,
I would say.
totally fine.
I guess all right. Yeah, I would say changing it after map 1's kind of scummy.
Yeah, no, if you, well, I mean, he didn't mean it. I mean, maybe he did mean it seriously, but I didn't take it seriously, so it didn't really matter if he meant it to be serious or not. But right now, it's fine. And it's mostly because I'm thinking about KARN and Co. last week, how well they performed against West Garfield Park. I'm thinking about this. It's not that Aerial Rise Academy are a bad team. And hell, maybe last week was a fluke, and today I'll be completely wrong. But I have been waiting for KARN and Co. to actually perform with the components that they have, Benny, for like 6 months now. Like, I've been waiting.
We've bet on Livid so many times in CL.
Oh my lord,
dude, so many times I bet on Livid, and it's just like,
now I'm like a drowning man clutching for a straw. Okay, I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is my hope. This is it right here. I'm gonna cling to it, even if I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, hey, so be it. I'm happy right now. I want to see them make it through. I want to see them win today. Them go to playoffs. And I want to see if they can keep this trend going.
yeah. Hey, I'm excited, 100% excited to see this weapon. Like I said, if Feltwinter can adjust to his new role and start meshing with the team, and they have a full 5 that are all playing what they need to do, doing the utmost they can, dude, that's a scary roster right there. That's a roster that I think can compete at the top level. At the same point, Aerial Academy as well. Like, now they're actually scrimming, now they're actually playing as a team. Well, yeah, we have expectations now of them. We have expectations that they're gonna perform maybe not just as well, but be competition.
Oh yeah, and obviously some of the players on this roster who have always immediately just been like, oh yeah, they're probably going to show up. Oh yeah, they'll probably be the star player. I mean, obviously we both mentioned Spiker and Dami. They were, well, Dami was the highlight player. I highlighted Spiker just because he's a really good player. But then we've all seen others continue to develop and grow into their own skin. I feel like Frozen getting back into the IGL groove. He's always, he's kind of like played for a couple months. Then, he's been in between teams for a couple months. Then he gets back. He's back on Aerial Rise Academy now. He's getting back into the groove of things, so we could see them develop over the course of stage 1. Venatorial, another one who had a lot of good times in C, or, well, not really had a lot of good times in CL.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call the Wave Runner period
that
good.
was not a...
But he looked promising, and now he's here, and he's not, I would say the standout player, but he's definitely having some good moments. Not going to credit Hypers because I hate him. I hate Hypers. That's not true. I'm just kidding.
Is it Hippers? Is it Hypers? What is it?
It's gotta be. I'm pretty sure it's Hypers.
I feel like sometimes I usually call them Hypers, but I feel like
I think actually a while ago I called them Hippers on broadcast, and somebody DM'd me like, "You're stupid. It's Hypers," and I was like, "My bad, my fault." Thank you for telling me though.
No, I just call it Hippers just to make you mad.
Actually, by the way, if we ever mispronounce your name on a broadcast, feel free to DM us and be like, "Hey, moron."
Yeah.
You said my name wrong.
Yeah, if you want to tell us how to pronounce it correctly, please do.
You could DM me in the middle of the show. I mean, well, if you're a player playing, don't do that because you should be focusing on the game. But after, maybe in between maps, feel free to DM me. Be like, hey,
please tell us like how to pronounce it and how to sound it out correctly. I'm fine with that.
Got like the dictionary in there. It's like the parentheses. It's like the phonetic spelling.
Dude, it was like the other day when we were trying to pronounce Ani. You forgot during the quals, and I was like, is it Ani? Is it Ani? Is it?
I forgot about that. I can't even remember how he spelled it in game.
I
don't even know what it was.
It was AHKNI.
Ah, yeah, something like that. By the way, we were waiting for KARN and Co to enter the lobby. So clearly they heard them predict me, and they're like, "Oh, Lynx predicted us. That means we can spend as long as we want. We can just take as much time." Nah, they're finishing up their warm up probably. But while we're here, Benny, might as well just get one out of the way. Just want to thank Mike and Ike's real quick. You just want to say, top of the show, just get it out there. Plus, get ahead of schedule. We don't need to worry about it later. While we are in this little prolonged waiting period, snack on some Mike and Ike's. Get the Mega Mix Sour if you're feeling something a little adventurous. If you're more of a pansy like me, You don't like the hurt? You don't like that? You don't like the tartness of the sour flavors? Just go with the Mega Mix of the original. Blue or green? Well, the sour is green.
Well, it's like,
yeah. It doesn't have 10 flavors. Mega Mix is blue, original, same color as the sour, but it's only got 5 flavors. But no matter what kind of flavor Mike and IQ like, what tastes the sweetest is their support for Rainbow Six and SCS. So thank you very much, Mike and Ike's. Always appreciated. And go Mega yourself up. That's not their slogan. I
easy to snack on though. Just a little bit right here.
That's true.
Take a couple here and there.
Last week I tried to grind them my mortar and pestle, then I realized I was staining it.
So you did that.
I cleaned it out. It was pretty easy.
I was like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't know. I feel like it.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Listen, wait, was it last week or was it during quals?
I think it was during quals you did that.
Yeah, hold on. I wouldn't do that during a regular season broadcast. That's a qualifier link. Shows my bathroom doors open. I should probably close that. Once we get into the game,
we're gonna venture into Lynx's bathroom now.
No, we're not gonna do that. I mean, it's just a shower, to being honest with you. Nothing really crazy in there. Actually, that reminds me, I need to go buy soap. I might do that tonight after. I don't know.
Do right now. Just get up and go.
That's the nice thing about doing about only doing the one game is it ends at like 8 or 9. It's kind of late, but I'm like, I could still go out and do stuff. Like half of the city is closed, but the other half, I could be like, like a late Target run. I'll go for something.
Yeah, well, I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, you have work, so you don't really have that option, do you?
No,
you gotta go night.
And then I go to bed.
Your mom comes in, or tucks you in, reads you a story.
All right, well, that
gives you a nice glass of warm milk before you go to bed, help you sleep easier.
I can't believe people actually do that. People actually drink warm milk before bed.
I thought people made it up. I actually didn't think it was real.
Yeah, that always sounded weird to me. Like, is that actually a thing? Like, is that I guess it's like an American tradition. I guess it's always weird to me.
That's something the Brits probably did. That's something that we just carried on over. That's some weird stuff that they did across the pond.
That was odd. Like, I remember reading about that and hearing about that. People were like, oh, you can drink warm milk before bed. I'm like, why would you?
I remember my favorite example of that was or kind of an analogous example was on Game of Thrones. It's like, oh, we'll give him a drop of Essence of Nightshade to help him sleep. But then later on, they would talk about Essence of Nightshade and it killing people. And I was like, what? And then I realized if you take 1 drop of Essence of Nightshade, it helps you sleep. 2 drops, you die. I'm like, who built this system? Like, all you do is crap.
The medieval times are crazy, man.
It's wild. That's actually an analogous example. I was trying to make smoothies. By the way, I believe one player from KARN is in the bathroom right now, so we're still waiting on him to join. Another small example of that in real life this time. I was looking into making a smoothie, and I was like, oh, I hate fruit, but I like apples. So what kind of stuff goes with apples? And one of them was lychee. I actually like lychee quite a bit.
Lychee's so good.
Lychee's so good. And I was reading all the nutritional benefits. It was like blah, 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 high in X, high in Y. If it's unripe, it will kill you. And I was like, hold up. That feels like an important part of the thing. And you know what the best part is? They didn't tell you how to tell if it was unripe.
Yeah, that's a
so I had to do extra research.
I'm pretty sure you can't buy unripe ones because of that though. Like, they usually are ripe.
Yeah, I looked it up. Unripe is it's like green, and then ripe it's like purple red. So it's pretty obvious, but it was still kind of like, I feel like we should have like put that at the top after you've already sold me on the product. Like, hey, by the way, if it's not ready, might die. So, well, we do have all 10 players in the lobby right now. If we had all 5, we'd still be waiting for quite a bit. So here's hoping that whoever is using the bathroom for KARN & Co. did not have to go a second time, I guess.
It's their routine. They got to go before they play, man.
Oh, there we go. We're starting the game. So let's get into it. Finally, Benny and I are done stalling. It is Coastline. It is still hard to believe that a KARN & Co. map is occurring on Coastline, and they willingly went to it. That is incredible. I'm happy I got to say that.
Yeah, I am excited. Excited to see the bans. Are they gonna be something crazy like we saw yesterday? Are they gonna ban like Nomad and Zofia? Or are they gonna ban a Finca? Are they gonna ban a Thatcher and a Habana and be boring? I say boring, but not really.
Yeah, I was about to say, on Coastline, nothing can really be boring. That ban is interesting, especially considering we highlighted before it was Mikey's most played operator so far, but decided to get rid of him. Next ban, maybe we'll see a Thatcher, perhaps a Hibana or Hard Breach ban as well. Maybe a Nomad too, as Valky's a common ban. You can kind of get that early mitigation of it. Just ban the Nomad out as a precaution. We'll see.
Okay, still a good one. Florence. Still a good one.
Yeah, still a good one, but not what I'd expect for Coastline.
This depends. There's a lot of shields, and shields are always
true.
It's a common thing in every map, so not too crazy. Mirror next, still the same. Mirror is pretty powerful on most maps. There are definitely some pretty important spots you can put those black mirrors. And then last one, Valkyrie as per usual, because it's coastline. Those cams are, doesn't even matter before even Valkyrie's banned 100% of the time. Valkyrie's always been a coastline.
Yeah, and of course, since Nomad is on the board, normally we see the Nomad Valk banner. We used to see it a lot more often. Now, if, well, the attack decides to run her, might not, as Nomad has kind of fallen out of favor, it seems, on some lineups, or some lineups on Coastline, many of them. They'll instead keep the Finka and the Lion, which is what we'll see here. They might 6-pick to it, so maybe we'll see Venom move away, but Lion is just so powerful, I doubt we'll see it. But those rotations might be a little bit more difficult now that she is left on the board. Don't see any 6-picks, so... No, you're sticking with this.
Sticking with
Chilling.
it? Nothing too crazy.
Sticking.
Sticking.
I don't know why I said that, but
and they go to hookah. Man, really? Really, guys? Really?
I feel like at this point, every team, whenever you and I cast, we're always like, oh man, Benny, you hate hookah. And Benny's always like, oh man, I hate hookah. Then every team is like, okay, we're gonna go to hookah round 1. We're gonna lose. And then we're not gonna go to it again.
It's just not the play. Like when you casted Coastline yesterday, how was hookah yesterday with Harrison?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Benny. I don't remember.
Ah, well, that's the story then.
It was getting late.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Late links
actually,
sometimes.
Actually, no. If I do recall, I think it was only won by the defense. No, the defense won it twice, I want to say.
So actually
maybe a little bit more. So yeah, I won a little bit better.
Oh, okay, that's good to hear at least. But maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be proven wrong here. But so far on this hookah defense, nothing too crazy. We haven't seen though that they set up that BP behind the laser gate of Aruni, so they can get intel if they push from Aqua side, make it difficult to destroy that BP. But Grenade comes out. One's playing behind Sunrise. Whitlock taking heavy damage already. He's taking heavy shot damage from that grenade so far, and I'm pretty sure someone's pushing office side to pinch him off.
Oh, Whitlock's certainly in a bad position right now. But there's the Rooney. Mikey coming over to help him out. But, well, nothing can really help Whitlock right here. Never mind. Mikey domes Dami, I believe that's outside of Mudroom, and manages... Oh, no, never mind. Spiker is right inside of Blue Bar. Cuts the 1 HP mute down right as he's going up the stairs. But now Spiker's in for a little bit of a world of hurt. 1 player inside of office, 2 players up above. Eager to trade out that kill. Thoughtwinter swings in. Oh, but just barely nicks Spiker as the sledge dodges outside of Blue Bar for cover in the hallway. He's managed to evade death for the moment, and now it always seems the attack and defense are trading positions. It's now the Jaeger who finds himself in another pinch. Very funny how this keeps trading places, but it continues to favor ARIAL Rise Academy.
That is funny. It's like it just Dami goes, Mikey goes to help out his teammate in Whitlock. Whitlock gets killed. He does pick off Dami at least, but then Feltwinter jumps into office to go for a flank, and it's just back and forth. That is Coastline fans. That makes it so exciting. He's Mikey with a great shot. Another person down to Mikey's DMR, and he also has a suppressor on his DMR too, which is interesting as well. But so far, ARIAL Academy, well, it's the meaning of Coastline. It's just roam game, aggression, taking fights, trying to take control, and they finally have control downstairs, and that downstairs control working out great. Grenades Mikey back, deals with the player inside of hookah, and see if they can now turn that into control of Cool Vibes.
Certainly be able to get that big window repel if they want to. They'll put Venatorial on that angle, and now moving in through Aqua. They seem to have everything in position to go for this plant fairly soon. No C4s left on the board, and only 1 toxic canister from Xeno, so he has to be very careful for where he places it. The last one will go out. It goes a little bit far. It will put Spiker down low, so it could be a 2v2 if the sledge is not careful, and a fair bit of time will be wasted. But ARIAL Rise Academy, despite the low time, still have the man advantage and intel on Carnage B's position. Venatorial can land an easy pre-fire after that. Spiker shoots Frozen in the back of the head. Don't really... Okay, maybe he was AFK, it seems, so Spiker has to go pick up the diffuser. But this changes things. Venatorial is now the only element of coverage, and he manages to take down... Now Venatorial's got to repel in. He's got to take this fight. Xeno can land the pre-fire. There's absolutely no way that KARN & Co. just won a round like that.
So what happened to Frozen?
I'm guessing...
Did he crash? If he crashed, that would make more sense. If he crashed, he had to pick up the diffuser.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm guessing since Frozen left the game, he might have crashed or his game froze or something like that. He had to kill him
to grab the diffuser because they had the plant. But the problem was there, unfortunately, I guess they didn't have intel on Venom's position of KARN's position there at the end there because, of course, the big window repel is important, but if you don't know where the player's at, there's quite a few places to look per se, and well, you have to get certain ways on the big window to look into that, that rotate on the corner of the bar into the hookah. But either way, the start of the round was just, well, a mess of fights, just taking fights, taking control. We saw from the side of ARIAL Academy just taking control downstairs, taking fights, trying to push players. Dami getting active, doing well. Actually, not Dami getting active. David got active a lot in Gost's fight to Mikey. Mikey then able to, Whitlock trying to return to site. He gets picked off in return. And then from there, it was though Mikey started to get another pick from above. And then from there, it's trading kills, like losing Feltwinter, losing players inside to a grenade, like Spiker, getting picked off, grenading onto one player on site. And then you're in a 3v3. Make that a 2v3. And then make that into a plant situation coming from Aqua. But eventually we saw right there, one player's already low on HP. One player's on big window, and Frozen's AFK, or not AFK, he's crashed. So they have to kill him, make it a 2v1, and the big window player at that point has to find an angle if he knows where the player's at. And well, of course, he didn't know where KARN was.
Such a tragic 1v3 for ARIAL Academy. Like,
yeah.
I even wrote it down. I put an asterisk next to it, assuming I'd remember. Be like, yeah, it was a 1v3, but a little awkward. Hopefully this go around Frozen can stay in the lobby. He does have diffusers, so they always need to be worried about that. Xeno sends out a C4 from below. He won't blow it up just yet. He's waiting to see if anybody enters into hookah. Send a couple shots through, maybe hoping that Dami's getting reckless. It'll keep it there for the moment. I don't believe he has active intel, so he'll be playing off sound, but Dami charges on in. Can Zofia blow it? No. Doesn't. Blows it a little late. Dami might not have been aware of the Mozzie's presence on Cool Vibes, but might not matter in the end since he gets away with it.
Yeah, he went to shoot for the pest, not looking at Cool Vibes first, which could have been dangerous there if Xeno was still playing that position, but he was playing for the C4 there, which unfortunately didn't go well. Hypers already jumped down from Blacktop. He's made his way into luggage, does take some shots from across the courtyard, and now with control of luggage, they're pushing through. So we see from, and of course, if you didn't know, this is like kitchen service defense. So they're trying to take control upstairs. And no, again, intel is important. Feltwinter playing white stairs, getting two, both Vena and Hypers. This is important, droning out these players, and they're lacking intel to make this work out. And a third from Feltwinter this round, and this is looking great for him.
Yeah, this is looking great. Dami trying to bring things back with a kill on the Jaeger, and he's not able to find anything. Finally a down onto Whitlock, so he's got something to show for his efforts over by Vase, but not much for team-wide results. He'll try to, hopefully, just maybe, get some more damage on any of the full health members of KARN & Co. Doesn't really know where they are right now. Knows there might be somebody in VIP, and he does see him. Gets the kill. There's Feltwinter all the way on the opposite side of the map, who gets a 4K for his troubles.
Wow. Feltwinter playing well on white stairs. More than anything, we saw from the start of ARIAL Academy's push, the lack of intel. Walking into hookah, again, probably because there's pests, there's mute jammers, denying a lot of that drone work from KARN, or not from KARN, from ARIAL Academy. And well, Donnie pushes in first, walks right over that C4. It doesn't get blown up, but you can see from the way he reacted, his intent was to destroy the pest rather than make sure that, well, Cool Vibes is clear. Maybe they had drawn it and knew Cool Vibes was clear. That's why he didn't look. But he was kind of looking around. And at that point, though, we saw Hypers pushing quick through luggage, trying to gain control of, that top floor control, trying to push forward and push out these players, not knowing Feltwinter's playing white stairs. He gets the first, kills Hypers, who's unaware, gets the second onto Vena, and then gets a third on top of that for his trouble. And he just gets, like I said, he gets the 4K in the end. So I would say this seems like maybe a lack of intel from these players pushing through, maybe too quickly.
It definitely seemed like there was a little bit of sloppy drone work coming out from the ARIAL Academy, but thankfully there's always time to remedy that, perhaps with a timeout later on, or even just maybe a bit of a... No, that wouldn't be the right word. What would it be? Maybe a slap on the wrist by Frozen. I was going to say, like, bit of tough love, but...
Slap in the face.
Slap in the face, maybe. There's a couple different analogies you could use, none of which are coming to mind right now, so it's a perfect time when your job is speaking. Blue Bar Sunrise is the next site. Hopefully, we'll see some better drone work from ARIAL Academies. You can surely expect a couple players from KARN & Co., especially with a Vigil on the board, to be on the roam, and drone work will be imperative to not only nail down them, but Xeno in particular.
Oh, and he's playing that. It looks interesting. They have not really reinforced VIP, and that's where he's gonna be playing. So he's gonna be playing right by the soft wall, looking for if someone jumps through the kitchen window. But it looks like at this point there, Dami's gonna open up that VIP wall. Here's the breach. Gophers the kill, and he's gonna get it onto Dami. Great shot through the wall. He's gonna run away with his life, but getting shot from the roof, staying alive, and he's gonna make it out of that with some damage, but still with the kill onto the entry of Dami.
That's frankly just incredible that he managed to get away with that with only 50 HP. Or with 50 HP remaining.
Yep.
One, that he's not dead. Two, that he's somehow not on 1 HP. He had somebody watching the roof. There was somebody on VIP balcony as well. The wall was soft, so Dami just breached it open. Clearly, they were doing some drone work, and they knew the vigil might be in there, but Dami was already committed. Either way, just both, I suppose, maybe good positioning, but also just nice luck, Zeno, managing to somehow get away from that situation. ARIAL now have to pick up some of the lost time they have, especially time they might continue losing with Zeno still in the wind. 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and 5 drones have already been eliminated for ARIAL Rise Academy. Make that 6 drones, with Zeno still wreaking havoc on the top floor. Both Frozen and Hypers will eagerly try to pin down this vigil, once with the E1D, and hopefully more times with bullets to rain on in, and it works out so far. Frozen evens up the man count, and the roamers will likely move back down towards the site.
Can I get a stat how many drones Zeno destroyed?
Enough to matter.
But so far, at least now they have top floor control. Their Sledge and Spiker is still alive, so they can go to work, try to push out these players on site inside of Sunrise. And that's why I see the smoke of KARN set up by Pink, or by the corner, by the bomb chassis, to make sure that they can play for that eventual push into site. But actually, he's going to back up, knowing that the Sledge of Spiker is opening up that floor. He's going to get out of Sunrise, actually. And that's kind of an issue. Now with that Sunrise being pushed out, this is where it's going to be reliant on those C4s. 1 C4 and the 2 smoke canisters in KARN to stop this plant, or at least stop them pushing down Kuvab as well, which, with Locks here playing Harry Potter. C4 thrown up, not to design a plant, but try to kill the Sledge and Spiker. That could be a waste.
Oh, well, Spiker just decided to go huge as both Mikey and Fellwinder decided to feed him kills. Whirlock's there to trade it out just a little bit, make the odds a little bit more even, but a nade lands towards his feet. Words are not my strong suit today, but neither are seemingly flanks for KARN & Co. As it's left up to Carnage B and Whitlock to pick up the damage. Carnage does a lot of good work in sight, but with Spiker up above, it's mitigated entirely. We're in a similar situation, though. Venatorial has to get the bomb down. There's only 1 player for the coverage. He's inside a mudroom. Whitlock manages to creep up, but he only downs Frozen. I thought he might have killed the planter there by some miracle, but he does not. ARIAL Rise Academy get their first round.
Good job to ARIAL Academy, and really that was big on just the fact that the early round able to take that control. Sure, Zeno gets the first pick, but they'll trade him out, gain that control top floor, start pushing out those defenders, and now it's reliant on either indirect utility like the C4s or the smokes, or getting those picks. And you saw they tried to throw a C4 early, tried to stop Spiker from opening that floor. Unfortunately, couldn't do much with that. So at that point, you have to aggress. You have to get on the top floor and try to stop Spiker, which they did. They tried. You saw people coming down 90, pushing through that hallway from VIP, tried pushing up Cool Vibes, take those fights, and well, unfortunately, it wasn't quite successful. Spiker getting 2 picks, 3 in the round total to stop them entirely. Well, actually, I think 4 actually, but he was not stopped in the slightest. And now they're able to get that plant down, though it was close. It was still a 1v2 in the end due to some good work from KARN working his way back into Sunrise Bar. But still, unfortunately, they could not win. Stop the plant there. The planter and Spiker's there to cover the planter in the end. So good job from ARIAL Academy. We try hookah and billiard one more time for KARN & Co.
And the nice thing for ARIAL so far is they should have won this round, but an unfortunately timed disconnect by Frozen, their planter, in a 1v3, rendered the round a little bit, not unwinnable, but a lot more winnable for Zeno. But beyond that, it was going fairly well. They were consistently able to pinch out the roamers for KARN & Co., and even when the defense fought back, and sometimes even fought back successfully, ARIAL never let them gain ground for too long. So, really, this should be a 2-1 right now for ARIAL Academy. It didn't happen, but this is a good time to make it 2-2. They can just do what they did before.
Yeah, hey, it was a standard, it wasn't, a perfect clear, but they still kept it close. They kept it 3-3 going into the execute and using grenades, using utility to push site. Worked out great for ARIAL Academy. Once again, we have the same setup from KARN & Co. Having people play Sunrise. Members with him, though. Last time we saw Whitlock try to play position, he took heavy damage from the grenade, which once again is coming through. And then he was being pushed from that blue bar side, opening up that single wall into couches and pushing him out. Though Mikey was the person to help him out and get him out of that situation. Well, I say get him out, but you got to kill off of it. Now, at this time, now he's not going to be able to get away whatsoever, and Mikey's not going to be able to get a pick as well.
This is almost exactly what we saw last time, except instead of being dead, Whitlock was put to 1 HP by a nade. They gave Mikey some time to move down and help trade him out as ARIAL Academy moved in for the kill, but now that Whitlock's dead, Mikey does not have that same opportunity. So if they want to make any make any aggressive plays on the bottom floor, they could peek cool vibes like Xeno is doing, or they'll have to go down white stairs on the opposite side of the map, or they'll play through the hatch and hope somebody avails themselves to the hatch angle or the angle that Mikey is watching right now, which Hypers is also watching and hoping that somebody will peek. Nami sends in the concussion, and that reveals there's somebody playing there. It's Feltwinter on the nade, but Nami doesn't even move in. Whoa. Spiker does most of the work in the entire round, barring striking parallels to the previous one in round number 3. A 2K was seemed to be the end for KARN and Co. When Spiker got those 2 kills, it seemed almost impossible for the defense to come back, and now he's got them much earlier on. Sure, Spiker and Frozen might be on low HP, but there are 3 other members who will certainly be glad to start picking up some of the slack. A 5v1 for Xeno to try to fight his way out of right now. He can't even get the freebie onto Frozen. He'll just do some chip damage, putting him to 1 HP. He will land a nice shot onto the 1 HP Spiker, but again, ARIAL Academy, they just stick to their guns, and they get their second round, evening things up.
Yeah, that was a much more successful roam clear, being able to deal with Whitlock early without any kind of contention. Nobody really pushing for fights for a free frag. And then on top of that, able to deal with the other player on site, the Jaeger, a Feltwinter. I think as well, they got a kill from below as well onto Mikey through the floor. And just one by one, able to find the angles and find picks onto KARN and Co. Really, that's kind of what it deals down to. Just able to pick off members from KARN and Co. trying to fight back or trying to find a weakness per se in ARIAL Academy, because once they lose Whitlock, they kind of have to find at least something. They have to poke and prod for some way to bring the man advantage at least to even. And unfortunately, it was ARIAL Academy to find the weaknesses in there, find those peaks, win those fights, and now we're on to, well, Penthouse and Theater for KARN, because it's going to bring the site back here and there, but it's been, iffy on the win rate, though.
Yes, but this is one that when KARN and Co., when they would have some good moments, their previous play style, there were these kind of sites that usually could work out. When you have an area by the site that you reinforce, you anchor in that spot, you extend into it to try to hold it, that's where they seem to do the best. Or, well, as best as they could.
Okay.
Here, it's a similar story, plus they now have the addition of players like Xeno and Mikey and Feltwinter who've been unleashed on the roam. However, to counter the point I just made, because of the lack of a Thatcher ban, Benny, the VIP room is now a lot more easier to take. They just need to Thatcher that wall, put some X Kairos on it, and bam, it's opened up.
True, yeah. So sure, that's a cause at least will impede them for a little bit, but with Thatcher available, it shouldn't be difficult to get this wall open and try to push out these defenders. Just because, if you can open the top of the wall, get some high angles onto defenders inside of VIP or in the hallway, it's gonna be easy to get those kills. We'll see if they push off of that and they take control of VIP, or maybe they're just going to go straight for site, because there is, of course, they're extending out like Luke's talking about. We have members, playing billiards, playing hookah site, playing VIP hallway. And so far, first and foremost, just opening up that wall like let's talk about. They're going to open up the wall right into VIP. No high angles, mostly just low ones to, push into VIP to walk in or crouch through.
Putting some damage onto Feltwinter, sending him back, tail between his legs, running to sight through 90. You can take Hookah in Sunrise, as there's pretty much nobody there. I do believe there is a yokai inside of Billiards. I'm not wrong. There's nobody really to play there anymore, as the defense has been pushed back. So unless the attack spots it, it'll just sit there gathering intel, but it might not be able to relay anything active to the players that they can act upon. Good job at ARIAL Academy so far. They've done exactly what they've done in the 2 rounds they've won so far. They pushed the roam back, and now KARN and Co. have to wait to see what they'll do.
Yeah, there's a lot of conglomerates are just really they're really grouping up together towards that 90 area. Especially there is at least someone downstairs in Xeno as the Oryx. But so far, it seems like this to be purely a second floor push from the side of ARIAL Academy, pushing a VIP and then pushing through. If they can gain control of 90, though, that's going to be important. So these players in 90 are going to be important. Luggage player coming up. It looks like that may be the Thatcher of Hypers, who is going to push up with his team. And this is the kind of the bet here. They need to start putting pressure onto these players in 90, push them back into sight, or push them off, or get the kills with more anything. But again, this will be intel's important, though. Do they know like someone like Xeno is playing white stairs?
Still time to try to cover their bases in that regard. Xeno might make it easy for Hypers if he sprints unknowingly into the Thatcher's crosshairs. Spiker moving down below can cut off the Oryx's cross, and that's exactly what happens. Xeno goes prone on the stairs, potentially hearing the bathroom door open on up, and the kill onto Xeno is what signals the execute from Aerial Rise Academy. Both Yokais, all of them miss, and the bomb goes down successfully. Nothing the defense tried to do to counter it, whether it be gunplay or utility, seemed to work whatsoever despite their best attempts. Aerial guaranteed themselves a 3-3 half, as once they got into the site, it appeared that everything just somehow went their way.
Yeah, that was this issue because we talked about extensions and, well, especially with Thatcher available, like Link is talking about, it makes it difficult to stay in VIP because you can just open up that wall with no real problem. Just, you know, EMP the electrical, open the wall up, push those players back. And then on top of that, Aero Academy on top of that, we're able to push out the players who are playing hookah, we're playing vase, we're playing billiards, pushing them all the way back towards 90, all the way, they're all just playing that 90 area theater. And then if you open up that bedroom wall like you did in the old coastline and just walk in, get that plant down, now it'd be only thing that would be the way to stop them would be a C4 from below or walking into penthouse to take a fight. And we can already tell there's Dami was holding the angle from Guitar, from Hall of Fame. So at that point, it's KARN at that point to make the fights and try and take back the control of site. And that's usually why that site can be difficult. So like, especially on Old Coastline, once you take VIP and you open the wall into bedroom, that whole entire bedroom control is so difficult to take back for the defense.
Well, you can say that for not only many different rooms on Coastline, but you could just say that for the site itself. Once the attack takes that big window control and takes down the player playing behind Pink Bar, it's very difficult to retake that site and stop an Aqua Plant going down unless you can get mobile and get active, either on a flank or winning a gunfight inside of the site. It's in fact how we saw Chess Club win a number of their rounds on Hookah on the attack, was just get that control, kill the player behind Pink Bar, bam, suddenly the round was won, and it seemed like barely any time had passed. Aerial Academy have already done a great job at clearing out the roam so far, and here, I'm afraid we might be seeing something similar. Again, Whitlock playing in Sunrise. Mikey might be playing close by, but Benny, Aerial have gotten quicker and quicker at clearing him out, and now they're already taking some key positions early on. Is enough being done to stop them?
At this point, it doesn't seem like it because, yeah, again, they're creating these extensions, but they're not really playing off. And then Dami's going to walk right in. He's going to play off of that inactivity to play. Gets the first pick. The second one as well. Frozen finishes off Xeno. And then just free firing into Hookah. Frozen will finish off Mikey that kills Dami. But now it's a 2v3. They have sight. The plant's going down. Now the last two players in Whitlock and Felt. Whitlock and Felt won't have to do something, but, well, it's just Whitlock.
Oh my god, I gasped so hard I started coughing. Not even joking. Wow.
It's a 1v2, though. Hey, it's still possible.
Hey, no, it is a 1v2. It might be the biggest C4 of the entire half so far. Hypers might nade himself or finish the kill onto Whitlock despite that, and he does. Neither him nor Dami stopped shooting that entire round. 4-2 half at Aerial Rise Academy. And I had a feeling. I was like, Venatorial on big window? 15, 20 seconds in? I think I saw Chess Club do this, and the round ended pretty soon after. But I doubted myself.
Frozen. That was not my fault.
Ladies and chat, Frozen is a terrible player. Make fun of him.
Either way, 4TF, that's crazy. You know, KARN actually had their issues on defense, but it's Coastline. It's just how the dice rolls with all those defense sites. It's just, it can be, you can blitz, you can just take control pretty easily, like we saw on both Penthouse and Hookah. So nothing too crazy to go at a 4-2 half on Coastline. We'll see KARN bring it back though, as you'd expect on their attack. And the big thing, this is their map, so we should see them really start to excel on the attack and show them that they're the better attacking team per se. But hey, anything happen. Maybe Aero Academy on defense are going to just prove us all wrong per se, like we did in that what was Academy game too, actually.
I'm excited, Benny. You want to know why?
Oh, why?
Last night, Harrison and I were we cast a little known game called Gash's Goons versus Chess Club.
Oh, I know.
Technically, Chess Club versus Gash's Goons. That was the order it was shown in. And on Gash's Goons attacking half, we saw a new variable and the attacking roster.
Yeah.
That variable was A for playing Osa. And at first, Harrison and I mocked it. Then later, we came to see it as an integral part to their plan, as A for quickly and soon, after he brought it, started becoming an implemental piece of their victories. And now KARN are bringing Osa.
I think we've seen KARN bring before though.
No, I'm just saying, very recently, even though Gaseous Goons lost, their Osa play was actually very well coordinated. I want to see if KARN and Co can replicate that from yesterday on Coastline in particular. I know they
I
played
think
before,
I've seen KARN bring Osa before, but I don't know if it was that influential per se. We'll see if it's influential as like.
Man,
as
I'm trying to get
Aphid
excited. Why are you doing this to me?
I'm just saying. I've seen it before, but hey, if Aphid was that influential, I'd love to see the same thing though. Why was it so influential?
Oh, it's just once Aphid was actually able to set up those shields in positions and push the defense back. Well, one, they weren't bringing a lot of utility to deny it, but also he was doing a very good job at just setting it up in like choke points or common rotations for the defense. Just made it very difficult to play around.
Well, so far they pushed back the defense of some of the roamers. You still have actually no, yeah, I think all the roamers now are off the top floor with still a minute and 50 for the attack to just do what they want. That's a lot of time.
We see Carnage B behind one Osa shield right now. He's just holding the hookah doorway, seeing if anybody moves in front of it. The defense has already moved away, so not the same so far. Mikey opens things up with a kill onto Frozen. The smoke playing inside of the site. A very influential first pick, especially considering that the only other plant denial was a C4 in Venatorial, and he blew it early on, not able to find a kill on the player inside of Aqua. So Aerial Rise Academy might feel the need to get a little aggressive. Dami spotted on main stairs. He certainly might feel reluctant to do the same over there, but something has to be done to stop Mikey's reign of terror on the sledge.
I would say do anything because, yeah, at this point, it's like now KARN with that O shield is going to walk in, put that shield up. If he can get into the site with that shield, he's going to smoke out and make sure nobody can shoot him down as he pushes through. Do the concussion, see who's playing behind couch, destroy the shield. And with, like you said, there's no C4s. There's nothing to stop them from going through. Sure, there's the impacts at least to destroy that Osa shield. But if they can get by the bomb chassis with that shield, this could be game over for Aero Academy this round.
KARN's finally moving in, and he's got the diffuser. But Spiker has some impacts, and if he gets in a position that the shield might not be there for long, but since the coverage is dealt with, Hypers can smoke the planter. Mikey's vertical play certainly seeming to be doing some good. What good has it done now that the defense has control of the bomb? The Lion tries to find an angle down cool vibe. Xeno finds an opening into Mudroom, but Spiker's right there to shut that door right back in his face. His impact misses, but he still has control of the diffuser. He doesn't get the kill on the Ash. Xeno's quicker on the trigger, and there's two players for coverage as opposed to Dami, who's the only hope for Ariel to win their first defensive round. Spotted one inside a Mudroom, but he's not able to account for all the intel blaring in his face. Carnico instead take their first round on attack.
And that was a round where, at least from the get-go, Aero Academy they had some members upstairs. They had some kind of roam, but they went off that roam very quickly. There was a minute and 50 when KARN and Co. had control of top floor. Aero Academy had left top floor, left all the control, let KARN and Co. do what they want. And that's what you saw. Like, first kill was Frozen. That's just smoke. That is some very important utility to lose early. And then on top of this, just because they have top floor control, they have control hookah, and they have, they had flanked on as well to make sure nobody was flanking them. They made sure that nobody was going to stop them from doing so. And from there, the only reason it was close was due to Hyper's position playing by the window. He was not droned out. He was then able to kill the coverage of the first planter in KARN, then kill KARN, and then retake control of that section of the bomb chassis. But then at that point, he got aggressive. He tried to play it in Mudroom, tried to stop the eventual push to retake the diffuser, and that's where, unfortunately, Aero Academy could not win those gunfights against Carnico. They retook the diffuser, left Dami at that point to try and stop, the 1v3, to stop the diffuser being planted, and he goes for the fight, he loses it. So good job to KARN and Co. We go to hookah and billiards for Aero Academy's next attempt.
Well, it's clear that if Aerial Rise Academy don't want to deal with that Osa, KARN is likely to plant one of those shields early on in the round and then use the second one to try and facilitate a bomb plant. Right now, Aerial Rise Academy only have one C4, so that's the only bit of utility that could deal with the Osa shield. And that shield will give KARN safe haven, proving, of course, the coverage remains attacked. If Hypers is just able to kill him and then swing around the shield, doesn't matter all that much, but assuming that's not the case, Spiker blows his C4, KARN could be able to use that successfully, and if KARN and Co. get in a position to go for the plant, looks like you might have a winning strategy here if this is going to be the case for Aerial Rise Academy's utility. But Mikey's already on big window, Benny. We've seen this position before, and it scared me because Aerial Rise Academy won the round pretty soon after.
I'd say this is scary. Yeah, this is getting scary here. Although we'll see if they're able to, maybe push Mikey off, because so far, yeah, again, this quick control of the big window. The big window is huge here, and if they can try, cut off these rotates, nobody's playing pink at the moment too. If he can make sure nobody pushes back into pink and they go for that plant, but again, force, they still have to get control of Aqua. And now the question is to be, where is Spiker at in this position? Because he's gonna be the only one to really stop his eventual push and the Osa shields for that. At this point now, they're pushing up, and there is one person flanking through luggage. It's going to be the Rooney of Hypers. Do they not drone him out? Oh, man. Oh, he's going to watch it, though. Take a flank.
Okay.
Take a flank.
I was about to say KARN got off the drone. He didn't know it, but he got off the drone at the exact wrong time. But Xeno's watching it actively, at least, so it's not all said and done. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. KARN is in. He's not just in. He is in the dead middle of sight. He put that Osa shield right in front of him like, yeah, come at me. What are you going to do? I'm going to leave, actually. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the site, and I'm going to see if Mike can get some kills. And he does successfully. Now KARN will try to move in and go for a plant, but there's one player all the way in the backside of Hookah who's got a long angle on the attack so far. He did. He smoked the wrong place. Sure, the big window player's gone, but KARN gets the plant down successfully. He falls. It's a Pyrrhic victory, but a Felt winner and the rest are able to get these kills. It is not a victory that was all in vain. It will even things up 4-4. Nami pushing up, knows the bomb is planted behind behind the shield on the billiards table, but Venatorial is caught mid-reload as Whitlock sitting on the Aqua Opel is a very powerful position. Feltwinter retaking Mikey's position once he fell earlier on. You know where Spiker is. He's trying to quick peek, get these kills with the SMG-11. He might be able to get this one, and he does, but the time is basically completely run out. He's only got about 3 seconds left, and he's stuck downstairs in Sunrise. He knows it. He's resigned himself to his fate. He's accepted the fact that KARN and Co. have even things up 4-4, just like I said they might.
And that was huge there. The fact that early in the round, they took control of big window, pushed back the players. Nobody was playing pink. They were still, members of ARIAL Academy still setting up things, still setting up the positions. And because of Mikey's presence of big window, nobody could rotate back to pink. Nobody could rotate back to that section to play for a C4, play for some way to stop, someone pushing into billiards. And that allows then for KARN to walk in the billiards, set up that shield right on the pool table. And the big thing there was the fact that not only is it on the pool table, so you can't see from below, on top of that, it's right where the single wall is. So you can't even really look around to see what's going on unless you want to get your head shot off by the person in the big window. So when they go for that plant, KARN goes for that plant, they assume KARN was planting default behind the bomb chassis, but he had jumped up onto the pool table, was planting there. So the plant goes down, and at that point now it's ARIAL Academy to scramble and take those fights, which they did eventually. They took out Mikey, they took out KARN, they retook site, but at that point the players on KARN and Co are just outside. They're on Aqua balcony, they're back on big window, they're sitting on Hookah balcony, just waiting for him to go for that defuse because it's in the middle of the billiard, just in the middle of nowhere. You're just gonna watch from afar and kill them.
We will see Hypers bring impacts this time around. So we saw ARIAL Academy do in round number 7, the first defensive round. So now they have something besides a C4 to counter that Osa shield. That's where KARN and Co need to worry, because if they're just going to go for something as brazen as that hop up on the billiards table, put down an Osa shield, get the bomb down behind it, there's actually something that can pretty effectively deal with both the shield and you. So they need to account for that, and the big window play definitely needs to be strong to catch Hypers in case he tosses out any impacts once they go for that play.
Yeah, big window play is going to be important here, but we'll see if there's another way from... They did get some good shots. They dealt with Mikey last time, but another play just takes that position. So we'll see if this time if they can deal with Mikey early and stomp this play. But so far, Feltwinter from the doorway stops Hypers already.
My boy's
trying
in.
to play in Hookah, but Xeno's in. He takes down Vena. Now they have control of Pink, and they're going to plant behind the shield in Pink instead. That's an even better position from last time.
Yeah, this is far better. I mean, the defense could see for you, but it's their own deployable shield. Frozen tries to bring things back, but it's all collapsed. Slipped through their fingers like grains of sand on a beach. Spiker's down below again, but as opposed to last time where he was out of time, he's out of options to win this 1v5. Not even one kill to his name come the end of the round. A minute spent, a round 1. KARN and Co take the lead.
Wow, these have been some... eye-opening attacks. Sure, at least that first one in that, the double bar defense was close at least. ARIAL Academy, but still there were some issues with the one. And then we go into Hookah Billiards, and so far KARN and Co have taken these defenses by storm. They've taken every single defense, just walking in, brazenly taking control of Billiards, taking control of site, and getting that plant down within the first minute, which has been crazy. It's been ridiculous. Let's see if they can do it, though. We're going to kitchen and service instead, because 2 Hookah Billiards are enough for ARIAL Academy to go, no, we can't do this anymore. Can't do this.
They tried. I admire their attempt. See KARN on the Ying. They're like, yeah, bet you're bringing that. But crap, what if he does bring the Ying? So Frozen will go to the Warden, obviously in response, because even if they 6-pick away from the Ying, you don't want to, or even if they don't 6-pick. Oh no, even if they do, but you don't know. You don't want to be that team that doesn't bring Warden and then gets, I don't know, put in a Travis Scott concert with all the Yings and the flashes going on. So you gotta switch to Warden. It's a prophylactic measure that might not pan out, but it's better than the alternative.
It still works though, especially because OCS smokes too. So
yeah,
it's
plus Warden also has a deployable shield. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, it's not like it's completely useless. We'll still see Warden have his uses. Good gun as well. MPX 1.5. So Frozen, he'll be fine. He's gonna be playing inside anyway. It's chill. There's still a smoke. There's still a mute. There's still Venatorial with another C4.
Still works out.
They've got what they need.
Yeah.
It's coastline. It's not as utility intensive.
No, it's not like you can be more creative with these lineups.
If teams bring Oryx, you can bring Warden. That's my policy.
It's true. You can bring Kapkan on this map for God's sakes too.
Yeah, but that's a bit more common of a pick than Warden.
True. Yeah, Kapkan's been playing well. Yeah, I'd say like what pick is less common than Warden is right now? That's my question too. Actually, think about what would you not bring? Kavera, yeah. You wouldn't pick.
There's actually a lot of operators when you think about it.
Yeah, now I think about it, there are actually quite a few actually that you wouldn't pick besides Warden. But hey, the first step is again taking control of top floor. And last time from Aero Academy, when they played that double bar, there wasn't much of resistance. KARN had controlled that top floor within the first minute and 10 seconds, and once again, zero resistance from Aero Academy. As soon as shots come through, those members on KARN on Aero Academy are already down the stairs, leaving for a corner of a horizontal first floor defense playing around the site to stop the eventual push. But now this is going to leave so much control to KARN to set up to execute, and it's going to lead to Aero Academy being in the right positions to stop the transition. But really, can you really be in their position when you can just walk in the site from service entrance or from the kitchen window?
Well, it might be in a better position if these C4s can land, but the first one goes out, and the first one finds nothing. Venatorial now the only one left with secondary utility that could counter, say, Mikey or Feltwinter on this top floor. He's over by White Stairs previously, but I believe he's moved closer to the site. Ooh, Frozen opened things up. Venatorial not back on the site. He's inside of security, but both Frozen and Hyper's down below, proving that secondary utility is not the basis for denying that vertical control. All you need to do is confidence. You can make something happen. Whitlock shuts it down, though. He's like, no. You've gotten out of hand down below. We have vertical control. You should know we're the big dogs right here. Stop getting antsy. Frozen is probably going to lean a little bit further back in his chair. Not try to get as aggressive. Venatorial as well could move back towards the site, but he's still over in security. With Feltwinter moving over to main lobby, he's in a good position to deny anybody if Venatorial moves back to the site, or even if he goes up the stairs. But if Venatorial can win that challenge, it could be big. But look at this, 2 rounds in a row now, though. A bit later on, Zeno has worked his way into the site. He'll take another position off the back of the E1D. He's the one with the bomb. Can they cover on the vertical? They don't even know. He's found a hole in the smoke that's not choking him out in the corner, and the defense is not even aware. He turns his back. Can he hop behind the OSA shield? He makes it in time. He now has a sniper's nest to watch anybody coming towards him. Whitlock still loses the fight from above. Zeno's got to do so much. He's plus one for Venatorial. He gets the defuse. I didn't even realize it was happening, and neither did Zeno. We're back to equilibrium. 5-5 between KARN & Co. and ARIAL.
Wow, that was sneaky from KARN & Co. But the fact of the matter is, Aero Academy proficient in killing those vertical attackers. Time and time again in that beginning round, we saw Mikey die. We saw KARN die. We saw Whitlock die later on, as well to Spikers. So the fact of the matter, they had that vertical control, but Aero Academy were able to win those fights, deal with those vertical attackers, and then able to ninja disable that diffuser through the wall, because that's what he can do at that point. And unfortunately, Feltwinter wasn't in a place, because sure, he was covering for the rotate, which I thought he was, but he was covering for the rotate into bathroom, but he wasn't able to cover the diffuser. And well, once they have recontrol of pantry from that kitchen side, because they killed Whitlock, they can just go ninja fuse from bathroom, because Feltwinter's not in a place to stop that. So good job from Aero Academy. Great shots, great kills, and despite not having that control upstairs, despite giving it to KARN & Co. early in the round, great recovery. Well, the thing is, we're back to double bar this time, though. Well, maybe this time you don't want to give it to them within the first minute. I don't know.
That would be the hope. But then again, they also gave KARN & Co. vertical control in the first minute, and still won the round on kitchen. so they can bring it back. Let's hope they, well, let's still hope they don't do that. Let's hope they try and put some resistance when it comes to that vertical control. You don't want to be too liberal with your conception of who gets to control the site. You do have some players sitting off the site though. Dami inside a kitchen. See if KARN might actually be moving from that side. Thought I saw a few players over there, but Mikey's moving up to the roof, so not the case. In fact, it seems like everyone is in kind of their own little position around the map, so not too sure what they're doing just yet.
Wow, dropped that drone immediately, got shot.
Yeah, that drone got pre-fired. That drone appeared in Ariel's dreams. They were waiting for it.
Wow, what a way. Unfortunate for Zeno. He wanted to drone himself in, but he can't do so anymore. Oh, he's got one more drone. He's got a drone available. But either way, so far they're opening up this floor. See if they can. Mikey's just try and stop any from playing that courtyard or that that live position for later on. Just gonna make those holes for now, and then they're gonna push forward towards billiards. And of course now this time there are two players. One player in Spiker who is now dead. Another playing billiards. Looks like to be Hypers on the alibi by himself now, and he's gonna get shot through the wall. He's gonna rush right in, try to take a fight with Mikey, and unfortunately lose it. And once again, the Rome game is out the door, but this time it's even worse.
Nobody on the top floor anymore, but Venatorial is close by. He's holding an angle, hoping somebody sticks their hole into hookah, but a drone spots him, and he'll say, nope, 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 I'm going back downstairs. I'm all good. Thank you, guys. I've had enough time playing. So, Benny, it's not a minute in that KARN get this vertical control, but they do still get it with 2 kills as well, so it might have taken a little bit longer, but the reward might be a little bit sweeter, honestly, in terms of this run compared to the previous one. Match point looking good. We even saw some spillage from KARN & Co. Some bodies lost moving into that site. Nobody is in Sunrise. That's a very good point. There is one player outside, and it's clear that KARN & Co. are still getting, or not getting aggressive, still playing it safe. But as Mikey gets a nade kill and Zeno gets another, Dami's retaken up top, but down below has been lost. It's really incumbent on Dami. Well, of course it is. He's the only one left. He finds one, and he's got all this plethora of verticality to play with, but none of it is viewing KARN, who just got the bomb on the floor. E1D goes out as well, so Dami's isolated for just a couple more seconds. Rubs salt in the wound, knowing how much of a mountain he has to climb to deny KARN & Co. from achieving match point. Sees one outside, but he's got an Osa shield to deal with. They end up trading, so nice shot by Dami, but it's match point nonetheless.
Oh, once again, it's that same. At least this time, Aero Academy tried to fight for that top floor control, but unfortunately this time it leads to them losing 2 members early. And from there, with that control, then they push the players who were downstairs playing in the hallway, playing Harry Potter, playing outside of Sunrise. They take out both of those players, leaving up Dami at that point. So Air Academy this time, maybe they took a difference. They tried to play for that top floor control. They tried to try and waste time, but ended up just losing. That's kill sign for you. Rome game is kind of sometimes can be the do or die situation.
Obviously, we'll have a timeout from Arial Rise Academy, but very interesting decision, Benny, by Arial. On match point, 1 round makes the difference between a regulation win for KARN & Co. and overtime, Arial gets a second chance. They're going hookah.
They still can change it, though, can't they, though?
I mean, they could change it in 4 seconds.
Well, it's paused. Can you change it during the pause?
I actually don't know.
That's my question, because I don't know, actually.
Well, we're about to, the timeout's about to end, so let's see if they decide to change it. But assuming they don't change it, it appears that they're going to Hookah, the site they've lost twice. Sure, they haven't gone to Penthouse and Theater, but Hookah definitely has not worked out really whatsoever for them so far. So it's a little bit worrisome. It does appear, though, they're bringing more operators who have impact. So once we cut back and the timeout is done.
Three operators and impacts.
Yeah, you can see what I'm talking about. They have a lot of them.
They switched over. Frozen switched from the alibi to mute, so it's not as many, but still C4 is important.
Still
here.
4.
Yeah, you still have 4 impacts. You have a C4. You have the smoke canisters. But even then, that second round, it didn't even come to that. It came to the fact that KARN & Co. was able to get into billiards within the first minute, take control of Pink, and plant the diffuser. It didn't even come down to the Osa shields that time even. It wasn't even the point. It was the point that they're able to just walk into sight, walk into billiards with no resistance, and just do what they want to do.
By the way, I also believe a fun fact, all the attacking rounds so far, save for the one defense aerial one, I think they've got the opening duel every time.
I've been some of these rounds are so quick. I haven't been able to take down the freaking opening pick.
Yeah, it's true. There was one where I was like, I'm pretty sure Karnico got it, but it was the one that lasted about 45 seconds. So
Exactly. So I was like, I think he got the pick.
I was like, hey,
Pretty sure
probably
he did.
got it.
I
I
don't know
probably
who
got
was.
it. But still, Karnico have done a very good job at opening things up for their team, so it's good. It's what you want to see, and it could prove to be important here because for Ariel, they have 3 impacts, which are the direct counter, 2 Carnage's Osa Shield. They also have the C4, but the impacts will be specifically reserved for that Osa Shield, whereas the C4 could see a myriad of other uses to hope maybe to get a kill. Mikey's put himself on the double door again. Karn has used one of his Osha shields on the hookah balk. We're seeing a similar setup from KARN & Co. on their attack right now. Doesn't appear like they're taking this in the next 30 seconds, but who knows at this point, Benny?
So at least now someone's playing pink for good right now. We still see the Maestro Hypers sitting there for the moment. They have a lot of floor holes made downstairs to stop that if they do plant, on the pool table or at default for the moment. And Frozen Below is mute with a C4. So if they have the intel, if they have the Maestro cams, if they do walk into Aqua, they can stop that push. But we'll see. Again, there's a lack of people on site per se. It's only Hypers and the smoke of Vena. Vena's playing Vase. Hypers sitting in pink for the moment. So unless someone flanks from luggage to stop this eventual push, this could be a return to that same issue. We'll see though. Hypers is going to be the first person at least to stop this time. At least somebody will be there to try and stop KARN & Co. from just rushing in if it comes to that point.
The attack's taking control of Aqua, but Frozen could be the one to stop the attacking team's momentum. He's downstairs in office right now with a C4 in pocket, biding his time, waiting for somebody to move forward or a call to be given for him to strike and catch the attack off guard. If it's the Osa, that's been the backbone of their attack so far. The first kill goes the attack's way, though. Dami found, playing over by Hookah. Now Zeno creeping into Billiards. It works out. Vena's not able to react in time. Zeno is raining terror. Frozen, you've got to act now. And he gets a kill onto the Osa, but the damage has been done. It's all accounted for, all compensated and mitigated. A 7-5 victory for KARN & Co. on their map pick.
Dude, that's just unfortunate because that was the spring into action. The lack of intel to really call that, to stop it in the first place. Sure, he does get a pick with the C4, but you saw Dami go down early. We saw picks elsewhere onto some of the roamers. And then from there, they're able to walk into sight, kill Hypers who's playing behind pink. So any of those, countermeasures they had put in place, none of them really worked out to stop that rush from KARN & Co. That altogether push from them to take control of Billiards, not get C4'd from blue bar, but they push straight into pink. So, and I guess KARN & Co. at that point, they understand they're gonna get C4'd from either Aqua or Billiards. So rather than that, they're just gonna push straight to pink instead. Don't even be in that position.
I mean, definitely the obviously after we come back from the break, we will have the map stats to go over, but definitely on those attacks, I don't know how much it'll be reflected, but Zeno, well, obviously the Osa strat gets a lot of play, but the Zeno's got to be my big MVP for many of those attacks, especially the hookahs, because all 3 of those rounds, Zeno was like, crap, man, guess I'm pushing into sight in a 5v4. Sure we have the man advantage, but like, I got to do it. I just got to go for it.
Sometimes he didn't have man advantage even. Sometimes he walked right into
That's
pink
true.
with no man advantage and took
Sometimes
spikes.
he just walked in a 5v5, Chad pushing, just strolling in like, you're dead, you're dead, and he
Ash
made
with
it work.
the G36 going like, hey guys, what's up guys? Hey, I'm here. Take the site.
Yeah, he was like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3 walking down the street. He's like doing the finger guns to all the women that walk by. That's what Zeno was doing. So good job by KARN & Co. on their map pick. Still, Ariel managed to keep it close, though on a map they are also very good on. But Bank, we have up next. This is newer territory for both of these teams. Actually, hold on, think about it now. Benny, I don't know. Yeah, screw it. Let's thank, we did it. So normally we do the sponsor read after every map. So I was thinking like, maybe we take a time off, but I like them so much. Let's talk about Mavix gaming chairs. You get their new M4 gaming chair or any other chair that suits your fancy for $22.22 a month, or as low as that. They're not all the same price, so don't go in thinking you're going to see all the exact same price gaming chairs, because you won't. Some are cheaper, some are more affordable, some are more high-end, but more tailored to your comfort and your gaming experience. If anything interests you, whether it's their affordable prices or their high-quality comfort, go to mavix.com/NerdStreetGamers, find a chair that suits your gaming needs. But Benny, we have Bank on the horizon. After just a few minutes, we will see if KARN & Co. can make playoffs and redeem themselves for a prolonged period of stagnation, or if Ariel Rise Academy still have some fight in them. Who knows? We'll find out after this break.
Have to get aggressive. Reed's looking for it, and he'll get it.
Have to push for the kill. Have to kill the Maluski.
Welcome to the NerdStreet Winter Championships, featuring SCS6, a yearly open tournament series hosting the best players and teams North America has to offer, culminating in a community favorite, the Pro-Am. So let's discuss format. During the Winter Champs season, SCS6 will consist of 2 stages, where each stage begins with 2 open qualifiers. Once Stage 1 is complete, there will be an additional tournament offering 1 more qualification spot prior to Stage 2. Through participating in SCS6, players will acquire leaderboard points and cash prizing. The winning teams from Stage 1 and 2, as well as the additional tournament, will qualify for the Pro-Am. The top 2 teams from the leaderboard will also qualify. As we approach the end of the season, the final qualification spot will be determined through a last chance qualifier. The Grand Finals of the Winter Champs SCS6 will feature the return of the Pro-Am, where the top amateur teams have an opportunity to define their talent against the North American Pro League. But in the end, only one team will be crowned Winter Champs. Sign up today and make history.
Have to get aggressive. Reed's looking for it, and he'll get it.
Have to push for the kill. Have to kill the Maluski.
Transfers on 1-3. What a passion! It's high noon. There's the 1v2. And 5-1 half for serve.
Welcome back, everybody. If you missed map number 1, well, it was a pretty entertaining coastline between KARN & Co. and ARIAL Academy. They usually are coastlines as far as they go, but this one was very special. KARN & Co. obviously won their map pick 7-5, implementing an OSA, which you don't see that often, but they managed to do it in a way that was both inventive and exciting.
I see that hookah billiards attack every single time. It was efficient. It was straight to the point. No fluff. No screwing anything up. Sure, it was sometimes a bit crazy, but they made it work every single time, spearheading into the site, and that's what you want to see in Coastline. Especially KARN & Co. really throwing itself in. Which is interesting to see, because we're going to Bank, which is still somewhat of an attacker favored map. Will KARN & Co. still keep that up, or will it be ARIAL Academy, because it is their map pick? Or are they going to be ones with that better knowledge of how to do those strats?
That is, of course, what we usually see in theory, or what should happen in theory. You know, team wins their map pick, opposing team wins theirs.
Yeah.
But Bank is still certainly a map that does cater to KARN & Co. in some ways, but not to say it doesn't cater to ARIAL Rise Academy. But if KARN & Co. are able to say make use of those windows and make use of that OSA with that shield on the windows on, say, a site like Office, they'll certainly have some strengths there. Also, the aggressive players like Zeno and Mikey, Zeno especially having a very good game on map number 1, could do a very good job at getting those opening duels, as KARN & Co. seem to do. If you can't do the math, by the way, if you are I would try to say arithmetically, but that'd make me British, so I'm not gonna say that. If you can't do the math, KARN & Co. we're 8-4 on the entry total, which comes out to 2-1. If you want to reduce it, I'm slick like that. I was good with my timetables or fractions. I guess that's saying like the right answer.
But yeah, now that was, Zeno on the attack, just spearheading every single time, most of the time. Most of those times, he was the first person to walk in. Doesn't matter if it was a 5v5, 5v3, 3v5. He was there to try and make it for his team, getting those entries, getting those kills for his team. Maybe not all the entries, but just still getting those picks to really make sure that the further the team farther, just was crazy. It was good to see.
And of course, Spiker also had a very good game for ARIAL Rise Academy, one of the players we highlighted before we started the show. But everyone else was, of course, having a little bit of a rough time at it, but still not too bad for a 7-5. And on their map pick, a Bank, there's plenty of time to bring it back, bring things around, and maybe take us to map 3 of not Coastline, we just played that. Map 3 of Clubhouse, which should also be exciting considering both these teams have been perfectly fine to play it in recent history. Well, let's find out how Bank is going to go. Can ARIAL win it? Will KARN & Co. clinch playoffs before any other team in Group D? We'll just have to find out on Bank. Where KARN & Co. starting on the defense. ARIAL at the favorite side of attack.
So what are they going to ban here for the operators? Is it going to be the normal Thatcher Hibana like we see on Bank? Because again, having those X-Gyros for the hatches is very important. And Thatcher always just gets banned no matter what, because it's Thatcher.
It's true. Could be a Thatcher ban taken out first. Might also be a hard reach of some kind, like a Hibana. Hibana definitely makes sense. Obviously, she was a lot stronger, or became a lot stronger than she already was after the changes made to her pellets. But on Bank especially, like a side like Basement, like 5 hatches that you can open up. So Hibana, very powerful for taking that site in particular. Getting her off the board makes sense. Thatcher, same thing. He's Thatcher. You'd usually take him down on any map. The defensive bands, you might see some more variety, but it's still not uncommon to see the traditional Mira Valkyrie, not only on this map, but amongst these two teams as well. Could see a change, but I'm anticipating probably sticking with that Mira and that Valkyrie.
I'm about to say Valkyrie on bank too. There's so many places you can put that, but actually Kaid, that actually does make sense too, because Hibana's banned, Thatcher's not available, and there's so many hatches like you're talking about in the basement and in other places too. When it comes upstairs, it can be difficult to deal with electric claws, and sometimes Maverick isn't exactly the most. It can be difficult to use Maverick when it's just going to open so many hatches and maybe go to walls like upstairs. So not too crazy.
It does mean if KARN and Co also want to get aggressive on their defense, they have the option of bringing that Valk, which is what Feltwinter's doing right now. Might 6-pick it though. Yeah, I was going to say, might 6-pick it just to bait it out, hopefully to scare Ariel Academy on the attack. It's kind of like the yin of the defense in a way. They just bring the Valkyrie and the attack's like, crap, do we want to bring an IQ? We want to deal with it, and even if they don't,
IQ though these days.
Saw it literally yesterday.
I didn't see it.
I know you didn't, but I did. Like empirical evidence. Anyway, the point I'm making is that Ariel Academy will still probably check every nook and cranny to see if there's any black eye cameras there, and well, they don't find any, just hope they're not there, or once they find all 5 members, they don't have to worry too much. But KARN and Co looking to get aggressive on their defense. We have both Xeno and Feltwinter on Oryx and Vigil, so you know if they're touching the site, things have gone awry and gone haywire in the round for their team. And with the castle, they'll also likely have some help denying some angles and some doorways with those castle barricades.
Yeah, we see it more often when it comes to this basement defenses playing for that roam, despite maybe how difficult it can be to play for that roam. But that's the reason why they're bringing the castle. They're going to try and hold on to open area for as long as possible. They probably open up some of those hatches, have them soft so that the players in KARN Co can then return to site, drop back down, get into site when they waste enough time or get the kills needed to make it difficult for Ariel Academy to make that plan work out, to get that plan or gain that control. So far we'll see. Of course, it's Whitlock probably to have Feltwinter running around. We'll see how Ariel Academy can either deal with them, push them out, or get those kills. So far, the Nook's kind of interesting here. Getting the Nook, trying to evade cameras, trying to avoid sound, making no sound when you're walking around, and try and catch some of these, roamers off guard. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting to see otherwise if they maybe just go straight for server, go for the plant, or maybe even drop down that vault hatch and go straight for sight, seeing as there's so many people roaming.
Well, Hypers doesn't find Feltwinter because Feltwinter has moved down below, taken refuge on that first floor. Does need to be worried as where he's moved to, the entire ceiling above him is soft, and Hypers is buck, so he can open up these angles and try to find the Vigil. He is successful in finding him, less so in damaging him, but he's trying to hone in on where the Vigil is. He's got the right idea, but he's not able to land the shots. Feltwinter will move and play cat and mouse with the buck up above, just hoping that Hypers is not able to nail him down in time, that he can continue just wasting time by being a thorn in the side of the attack. A drone goes in, will spot the Vigil, but Feltwinter's intent just keep wasting time. The Nook finally goes in alongside the Finka, and the first pick goes for Ariel.
The opening pick goes well, but he's wasted a minute and a half, and there's still people upstairs. Mikey and Xeno still playing in open air, still playing kitchen, wasting time. If they don't clear these roamers off, that could be a thorn later on to disrupt the execute. So they have to do something about them. They need to push them back or get these picked. Mikey first one up. He's going to take down Hypers. Actually, just Whitlock to get that pick out. So was it like Whitlock on the stairs? He gets 2, actually. He flanks at the perfect time to help his teammates.
Ooh, Xeno peeks out at the perfect time, and now Spiker's left in the position. I have to make a play, but ooh, Xeno turns his back at the exact wrong time, and Mikey's stuck in between, or maybe not in between, but having to deal with, oh no, he is in between all these attackers. Wasn't sure on Venatorial's angle and where he might go, but we're back to a 2v2, but only 38 seconds left. That hatch made in open area is soft, so they can watch red, and that's exactly where KARN is playing. There's a deployable shield in the way, so they're not able to go prone and maybe get that kill. And now they have to walk down these stairs and play right into the arms and the angle of the defense. Whoa. The Venatorial turns on Whitlock. The castle doesn't stand a chance. And now Carnage B, the IGL, it's his company that he's leading. He's got to take charge and win a 1v2. Nade goes out to deny that position. His smoke does not land, and Spiker in all likelihood will get this bomb on the floor. Venatorial spots him, and he takes him down. The planter, Spiker, doesn't have to do any work. It's Venatorial and the rest of his team earlier on that get round number 1.
A bloody engagement that was a bloody round for both teams. You know, we saw KARN and Co trying to extend upstairs, though I will say Felt Winter sure to get a kill. He wasted so much time sitting inside of tellers, sitting inside of archives, playing for that roam, wasting time. And then from there, he gets picked off. But to that point, it was then Aero Academy to push off the rest of the roamers, because you can't just leave 2 players in kitchen, you know, one player in kitchen, one player in open area. You have to try and push them out, make sure they don't flank you later on when you go for the eventual plant. So they do push for that. They go for the kills. They trade off. Whitlaw gets 2 though, but they're able to take out Mankey, able then to figure out take out Xeno upstairs, make it a 2v2 on site. And unfortunately, going down those main stairs, sure, we have Whitlock in a great position to try and stop them walking down main stairs, but KARN wasn't in a position to try and refrag or help out Xeno. So Vander knows his position. He reads it perfectly. Maybe there's intel he knew he was there, but he pre-fires that elevator corner, kills him. Now it's KARN in a 1v2, and he's inside of gold. He's inside the red hallway, and they can just jump to the window, get into sight in lockers, and get that plant down. And KARN has to either land those smokes to push them off of it, which unfortunately he does not, or then, well, take the fight, which he does later on in that round, loses it at that point, and good start for Aero Academy. We go on upstairs to CEO and executive, and this is around where now that top floor, that office, you know, window control is gonna be big here.
Often we see teams, once they get control of those windows, if they're able to get a pick in sight or open up one of those windows in square, they usually win the round after, even if it might be a 5v5. And if they get that bomb down, it's very difficult to retake, just with the presence on those windows. Whitlock's struggling to get a black eye camera outside, but he sends out an important one. The effort is worthwhile, because if that's not spotted, it will give intel to the defense about all those players who go on that office repel, once inevitably ARIAL Academy, in all likelihood, go for a plant. I'm just assuming they might just ignore the bomb entirely and try to get all these kills. Who knows? Dami's entering the building fairly quickly. There's no one in his way right now, so if that is their strategy, they'll have to do a little bit more work to get a frag.
Spiker's also playing ATMs at the moment by the main lobby, so maybe they were trying to create a pinch where they're not expecting. Maybe go up spiral stairs, go up main stairs, and start taking fights like Link is talking about, or maybe this is just later on. So when they do get in those window repels, somebody like Spiker's available to stop the defense from trying to kill them from that main lobby area. Anything's really possible, but Dami's getting spotted up by main camp, so at least they know Dami's position here in open area. But otherwise, we do see the Buck going to work. The Hypers trying to get angles on people in general, maybe create holes below, because again, nobody from KARN is really playing for a roam, so maybe Hypers can get a good angle onto some of these players who are playing in trans positions, like Xeno. Actually, you can't get rid of Xeno because he's playing over by checkers, but maybe Whitlock playing inside of, you know, inside of conference, or a player playing inside of janitor to push off, because once Frozen walks in, if he has smokes in their positions, he could try to get that plant down if they can clear out conference or clear out CEO.
It appears that KARN & Co left the left panel of that wall soft, and Mikey tried to shoot through it, hoping he could tag up Frozen opening that wall, but instead, that soft wall, or bullets that travel through that soft wall, go both ways, and Mikey ended up dying. But KARN trades it back, finds Dami outside of square. There's also intel on Frozen's position on the left side of that wall, so it's not for free right now. Frozen does need to be careful. He's not opening that right panel either, so he is opening himself up to angles from both office and the right side, but KARN just runs out! There's nobody watching from square. Frozen's all by himself, with Hypers down below and somebody outside of main lobby. Venatorial's finally coming on in to pick up the pieces, but now there's active intel on him as well. KARN tries to land a pre-fire through the soft wall. He misses his shots, but there's still enough damage done and not a lot of time remaining for ARIAL to compensate for the loss of Frozen early on. Venatorial will move in. He will go to pick up that diffuser and open the right side of that wall, but in all likelihood, he'll probably have to go through the left panel, and there's still a black eye camera or an echo drone, one of the two, giving intel to everybody in square. Hypers pushes into janitor. There's one playing just to his left. He still spots KARN playing across the way in the office. The Valkyrie goes for the refrag and lands it in time as Spiker finally strikes. He's gone and rented the cameras, and he gets a two-piece because of it. Now Xeno's got to go for it. He flicks onto Spiker. The Nook walks right in his way. He tags up Venatorial, but not enough to write home about. With active intel, he can't go for the defuse. Venatorial has to win this on kills. With only 2 seconds left, he has no idea where the echo is. 1-1 between these two teams.
Wow, that was an exciting end of the round there, but still, it was KARN & Co playing great off of intel, having both the Valkyrie and the Echo, able to use both the black eye cams and the yokai drones to just ping information to the team, which allowed, you know, KARN to get aggressive, take fights, allowed great shots onto the members pushing into sight. But it was still, that's why they bring the Nook along. Spiker coming from behind as a Nook, walking around with that that gadget to be silent. I forget what it's called actually, but still able to go for the flank and make it competitive. Go for the flank, take out those players who weren't expecting because they were all knowing there's so much intel on the players in square. That's all they knew. That's all they expected. Spiker walking in from behind, able to get the pick, but unfortunately, in that situation, especially because at that point, KARN and Co were already, up in the man advantage, it was a lot for Spiker to have to bring back to try and get those picks. It's 1v1. Yokai's still in sight, giving information for, at that point, for the last player to finish off the fight. So good job to KARN and Co take one round back. But so far, the Nook's been interesting. That's been working out pretty well, knowing that there's both, the Valkyrie and the Echo being brought.
Pretty sure it's the it's like the Hell scanner or something like that, like the Hell
I
gadget.
didn't want to say because I had no clue what it was. Like it was Hell something.
I'm pretty sure it's just the Hell,
The Hell.
but like Hell, like the Norse god.
Okay, that makes more sense. You just said the Hell, and I'm like, what are you saying to me?
No, like Hel, like Loki's
Yeah, I gotcha.
daughter.
I got you. No, that makes more sense.
Or,
now. I thought you just telling me off at that point.
Or I think in God of War it's just Hell. It's not Helheim.
Because Nook is from what, Dutch, I believe, Special Forces, something like that.
She's not from Dutch.
But it's the.
She's from
isn't it like-
Denmark.
Okay, well, I'm at the CTU.
Actually, I'm pretty sure Denmark isn't Dutch. Hold up. Wait, I think that's Danish.
Isn't Dutch Netherlands?
I don't know, man. I'm
Oh,
from
no.
Indiana. What do you want from me, Mike? You think I got a quality education? They're trying to ban books in my
You're in
state.
college, you should
They're
have better
they're trying to
education than
ban books in my state right now. Like,
True. I can't see you post about that. Either way,
That's stupid.
Dummies, we're an
Psychos
open
in my
area in
legislature.
kitchen. We're an open area kitchen, and the first step, of course, is taking control of top floor and making it difficult for people to play in kitchen. Not kitchen. People make it difficult to play inside office, play inside open area. They play inside tellers or archives. So you see, of course, Hypers going to work, open up the floor as the buck, and we'll see maybe if KARN and Co could stop them from doing so. Because of course they're going to open up all these hatches, open up these angles, and see if they can get into open area. But of course, kitchen is going to be important there because you can just you can sit in kitchen and try and take fights. C4 thrown by Mikey will kill Hypers actually.
it's the first time KARN and Co will get an opening pick, and it's onto the soft destruction. So in terms of vertical play, not much of an option. But then again, most of this site is hard walls or hard ceiling. So Hypers wasn't going to be doing much vertical play anyway, but still, it's one player you don't have to worry about. Here's the thing you do have to worry about. If KARN and Co were defined by their OSA play on Coastline, ARIAL Academy 3 rounds in a row have made the Nook a cornerstone, or, well, in theory, a cornerstone of their play. In reality, it's just been Spiker getting kills. It's been the most important thing. But here, could prove to be the most important aspect. It's a 5v3 right now as Mikey inside the site with C4 and gun in his hand has done some incredible work with 2 kills so far.
This point looks at ARIAL Academy trying to clear out this area, and while he just pokes his head to Xeno's gun inside the window of archives, Xeno will take that one. Spiker making his way through. He's silent. He thinks he knows one on the stairs, but Feltwinter still wins the fight, looking way too far right. The last one left in Venatorial. He knows they can get one at least, but still 4 more to go in this round. And he's not that made much progress really besides just walking into tellers.
No, he's not. He might be able to spot that castle, but no, he doesn't. He still crosses in uncontested. He makes it through, but now he is contested by everyone else on the site. Basically as close to a flawless round as you can get with suffering 1 kill. It's a flawless in everything but name, and, well, still lost 1 body, so technically not, but it was overall a very solid round from KARN and Co, but really, it might have just been ARIAL Academy struggling to get anything started. Mikey inside of open area with C4, and again, the gun was just getting very active on his role, both in terms of taking those gunfights and with the utility. It was a 5v3. ARIAL Academy were like, okay, we're trying to get some additional dimensions to it, but now the only people alive are all on one side of the map. Okay, we'll try up. It's now a 5v2, and KARN and Co just not really getting over aggressive, maybe, but definitely playing as aggressively as you can while still playing in the site and with their team. ARIAL kept losing those fights, and they just never were able to get stuff started because of that aggression from KARN and Co.
Yeah, I was like, the extension worked out great for them, and yeah, it looks like Hyper's trying to make something. They're ARIAL Academy trying to make something of that vertical control, but you really can only do so much when kitchen cannot be touched whatsoever vertically. So at that point, you have to take control of square and open up the wall into kitchen, but you can't do that without clearing out archives. So ARIAL Academy tried their best to do so, but losing fight after fight doesn't help much. But hey, we're gonna take for a second. ARIAL Academy, they've seen these issues. They're gonna start talking it out and see if they can fix some of them going into our next round, where we're gonna redo those sites. We're gonna see KARN and Co will go back to lock and CCTV, where it was that roam game that really kind of worked out in a sense. It did, it was back and forth. They wasted time. They got some picks. But going into 2v2 in the end late round of that, it was still, it was Aero Academy to win those important fights.
See Spiker after the timeout. They will stick with the Nook play as 3 sites have now gone. KARN will go back down to basement, which is the only site they have lost so far. Will the Nook be enough? Depending on how they decide to implement it, we might see Spiker go for a late flank in garage or wherever there is a weakness or a lack of presence for KARN, as since they were extending very far off the site, or, well, far off the site. Might not be anybody in server. Spiker could creep down those stairs. Might not be anybody in garage. You could creep up, hold an angle in either of those areas. Or hell, even just once the attack is clearing out the room from one side, Spiker could go hit the back, take the defense off guard from that angle. Either way, they are committing very heavily to this Nook strat, and as opposed to KARN Osa, we've yet to see the full potential of what this could be. Maybe it's because of unlucky timing, but to justify it, I need to start seeing some results.
The interesting time, so they actually are reinforcing all the hatches compared to last time, where they left that CCTV hatch open for maybe the roamers to leave. I'm not sure. They may actually reinforced last time. Maybe that's why we saw Mikey and Xeno play for their lives inside the kitchen open area, because they really had no way out. So maybe that's what happened last time too. I don't really remember per se, but it looks like that is that same roam. Feltwinter last time playing in the vigil, he wasted half the round for his team. Sure, he didn't get any kills, but he still wasted quite a bit of time. And last time it was Hypers who was hunting him down with that skeleton key. This time he's going to do so again. He's going to drone out and see if he can find Feltwinter. But like you said, if they go for the same play from ARIAL Academy, trying to drive out these roamers and just make sure they waste it if they think they're going for that same play, and Spiker's able to maybe hit it from position at an angle that KARN aren't expecting and control sight, that could be a great way to change this round.
Also, Harrison added me. He said Dutch is from the Netherlands.
I knew it. I was right.
Then he said Denmark is Danish. Yeah, I know. I said that. I corrected my mistake.
He did
the
say
question
that,
was
yeah.
just Dutch. I forgot.
I think the question was like, where's Nook from at that point, really?
He's just from Denmark.
Oh, no, it's a Danish frogman, isn't it? Not the Dutch frogman. I think I got that wrong.
You thinking of the Flying Dutchman?
No. The frogman. There's a special...
Old man, that was a SpongeBob reference. I don't care.
I'm not... But get out of here. Get out of with these stupid SpongeBob jokes.
All right. Minute 20 left so far. What do you know? Right as I get back into it, Hyper is the first to go. 2 rounds in a row. This time, it's Feltwinter to be his undoing. So, no buck this time. And Venatorial just waltzes right on into Archives. Bit of a mistake, clearly, because not only is the extension still very much alive, Feltwinter has not given up this position whatsoever. Both Spiker and Dami will try to take down the Vigil. You won't get one kill. They'll finally clear him out, but 2 minutes of the round now gone on trying to clear out this extension. And because those hatches are reinforced, sure, Xeno might not have as easy of an escape, but with how much time has been wasted, ARIAL Academy will have to use both of those exothermics to open up the hatches with very little time remaining. There is one open. They've opened up the server hatch so they can drop through it, but there's a there's a stairwell right next to server. They could just walk down instead. They'll instead open up main lobby, allow Mikey and Xeno to exist in open area right now. He's just waiting. He's hoping he might be able to retake and go for a play. Whitlock's down below. It is a 3v2 on site, but Xeno and Mikey can both collapse on the defense. There is still one hatch open. Thought they might have all been reinforced, but it might not matter. Whitlock's holding out down below. Doesn't need to hold that for a hero, but now he might need one. Both Frozen and Spiker finally get on the board. Spiker turns his back as his Spidey sense starts tingling. KARN in a 1v2, 2 times in a row on basement now, but there's no coverage. He gets the diffuser. Spiker can't find him in time. He goes prone right as he hits 1 HP. KARN win all 3 defenses, 3 rounds in a row, and they're overperforming on bank defense so far.
Wow, they retake that one by the skin of their teeth. And the big thing there was the fact that, well, again, early round, not so great for ARIAL Academy, not able to truly find out where Feltwinter was. He gets 2k, much better roam game compared to that first round on that, on Locker CCTV. And then from there, KARN still people like Xeno, still people like Mikey existing on the top floor, first floor, sitting inside open area. And at that point, ARIAL Academy having lost 2 players, they finally kill Feltwinter, and they're like, okay, we can't realistically go for these roamers after we lost 2 members. We can't realistically go for that to clear them out. So we're just going to push downstairs, push down the main stairs, take control of site, which they do. They try to. Whitlock gets a pick. And then they start aggressing on these players because at that point, especially with the KARN & Co. roamers still in open air, they can pinch the players on the stairs, which they try doing. But Spiker and Frozen able to stop all of that aggression from the side of KARN & Co. And then make it a 1v2, just like that first round. But unfortunately, the big thing here is, well, intel. There was still intel available to KARN & Co. going into the last 10 seconds of the round, allowing KARN to then kill the planter of Frozen and clutch the round on time. Great job. And unfortunately, well, ARIAL Academy almost recovered from that.
5 seconds left before insertion.
So far, the most difficult site for KARN & Co. has been basement, and now they've been able to win it. They can go to their more stronger ones. Office still wasn't easy, as ARIAL Academy were able to open up that wall fairly quickly and take down a player in the process as well. That was Mikey who fell, trying to get aggressive on that wall. They left the left panel soft on, well, they left the left panel soft on that right angle if you're looking east. It's a little bit confusing. Bear with me. Hopefully they reinforce it this time. No.
It's on purpose, I guess.
No, I know it's on purpose, but it was just, it's a little bit risky.
Yeah. Some other teams usually just leave it open, so, Different strats, different reasons. I think we've seen before people just open that entire wall and just play for the angle from checkers, so it could be different. But so far, yeah, like you said, they got that first pick. Then it kind of got bloody for ARIAL Academy. They weren't able to really play that, that window play too much. They played more for vertical with hypers, but by the time we saw them push in and try to really push into office, hypers hadn't create enough angles to stop those plays from people playing inside of executive, playing back in checkers, playing the hallway, take fights. So hopefully this time maybe hypers can do more with the buck, do more with the skeleton key, and on top of that maybe use these office windows to really push these players back and stop them. Though last time it was Spike who made it competitive, going for the flank up spiral stairs. We'll see if it works the same way, but this time he's not playing Nook, he's playing Ash instead.
Rose is able to open up both those panels with minimal resistance from KARN & Co., but that does mean that KARN & Co. will break with the pattern from the previous one, and they'll go into the latter half of this round with a full 5-man count on the board. However, there's an asterisk there. ARIAL Academy have a lot of what they need to make an office attack work. Both of these walls open. 5 men on the board who can watch either of those panels. They can also allocate maybe Spiker to that rappel, but also potentially somebody else too. Ooh. Now have a pick too. Whitlock, a C4, gone. Mikey's got the other one. There's still some post-plant utility. The KARN evens things up as the smokes go out. Frozen might be going in. KARN's running a marathon right now, trying to go all the way to the back of the map, as ARIAL Academy have not started attacking yet, and KARN's marathon pays off. Frozen finally sends it, but now ARIAL Academy are on the back foot. There's less players to cover. Frozen gets off the bomb to try to make sure he's secure. Venatorial does the job for him, and now Frozen finally feels safe enough to go for a plant. Mikey might be able to spot the head. Yes, he does. Both Carnage and Mikey making this clutch for Venatorial a lot more difficult. 4 rounds in a row for KARN & Co. so far. If they get 5, we might have to call this one early.
Dude, KARN on the freaking marathon. My God. Woo, man. But that was a good start from ARIAL Academy. Opening up both walls, like let's talk about, they had some things checked off in the checklist. Open up both walls, have someone on the rappel, and then especially with hypers, gets the first pick as well. He gets the first pick. Not able to trade it out because he's downstairs with the skeleton key. He starts pushing forward. And then from there, well, they're going for the plant. There was a bit of an issue though. The yokai still at least paused the plant from happening, stopped them from doing that initial plant, which then allowed for KARN & Co. to start moving up, taking positions to stop them entirely. And that was a KARN. Carnage goes all the way to lobby, kills Spiker off the rappel. Nobody was playing lobby. Nobody was playing ATMs to stop him doing so. So he goes for that pick and then runs all the way through. It's a 3v3 at that point. There's 2 players on site. There's cover, so there's 2 players on site. Can't push forward onto them without taking those fights. And Carnage is able to then push forward, kill one of the covers, and then from there, you see Mikey then push up, kill the planter Frozen, and then finish off the round there. Ven is in a 1v3 at that point, 1v2. So really good job on KARN & Co. despite being pushed back, despite the amount of angles that ARIAL Academy take, to still find a way. We'll find the weaknesses in that attack really more than anything.
Now going down to open area, the big smiley face of a strat. That's a new term I just made up about 5 seconds ago.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I don't know, Benny. I started saying big, realized I didn't know what to say after that, decided smiley face.
Sometimes you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta roll with the punches. The strat that made me get a big grin on my face. It actually wasn't that complicated. It was just an extension in an open area, and yet ARIAL Arise Academy could not seem to find a way to pierce it. Feltwinter in particular proved to be a burden that they could not shake, that they could not carry. This time around, still too early to tell. They're going for the vertical play a lot earlier on, and here, Feltwinter might not be in the same position, but Zeno and Mikey certainly are. With Hypers on the board, if he's able to get in, and there's no C4 like there was previously, maybe they start off with a kill instead of starting off with a death like last time.
Maybe, yeah, because the fact that Mikey's able to sit in open area and stop them entirely from using the vertical pressure. And then on top of that, too, if you're going to, at that point, you have to open kitchen, and archives is important here. Last time they had an issue trying to push archives. You saw Dami last time just peek his head in the window, get taken off by Zeno. Feltwinter getting great information onto the push into loans from the attack of ARIAL Academy. So far, again, it's going to be really dealing with Zeno, dealing with his archive tele pressure so that they can't open the wall into kitchen and push those players back. Spiker is going to start us off, but Zeno, he's under siege. He's getting tough. The attack from above and through it today. He's going to take a fight and lose that fight to Hypers. So Hypers' time a lot more successful on that vertical pressure.
I suppose I was mixing up the basement round with the open round. It was Feltwinter who went big on basement, but it was Mikey who went big on the open area last time. Either way, it still started with an opening kill on a Hypers. This time around, he's a lot more successful. Mikey was close by, but he's probably rotated out once his teammate died. There's still some work for ARIAL Rise Academy to do. It might have taken down archives. It might have control of that side of the map. But there's still some other defenders in positions that could catch them off guard. Whitlock, prone, and elevators right now could go for a flank while the attack seems all comfortable, feeling safe and secure. There's also some time wasting inside of the site. Carnage B with 2 impact grenades, opening up some more holes to provide him options to impact trick this large section of the wall. Finally, Whitlock strikes. Now the attack is not thrown into chaos, but definitely has cause for concern. Whereas the Aruni, he'll just try to play it safe, open up the wall, assume it's clear. There goes both of Frozen's exothermics, and that quad panel remains reinforced. ARIAL Rise Academy, if they want to end this 4-2, they have to just send it through these holes made by the defense or on through doorways and hope they can win the 4v4. First kill goes their way in the final 45 seconds, closer to equilibrium, but still favoring! Never mind, I spoke too soon! If Mikey had a big C4 in round 1, he just overdid himself for absolutely no reason.
Speechless. That
C4 was just out of pocket. He didn't even need to go that hard.
That was like Spiker C4 back when they played Wichita Walls Academy. 3K. Just end the round right there. Well, actually, I didn't end the round. He got an ace after that, but still. Crazy C4. Either way, but that round was still...
Mikey copying Spiker? Well, Don, I'm here at SCS Season 6, where a nasty case of plagiarism has appeared to cause some tension amongst the players.
Either way,
Sports
ARIAL
right after
Academy
this.
not able to... Actually, we'll say that, but they had a great start to the round, actually. Able to clear archives, clear tellers in a much better fashion compared to the previous time they attacked that site. Though, but the problem there is getting open that kitchen wall. Sure, they've controlled archives, they control tellers, but without opening up that kitchen wall, those players can play in kitchen. And that's what they try to do next. But of course, there's a maestro around the corner with the 2 impacts to deny any kind of utility, because not only did you only have 2 extra charges, actually 1 at that point. Vena dies unfortunately to Whitlock sitting inside an elevator. So at that point now it's down to you have no hard breaching, you can't open up that wall. And at that point you will have to rush into the rotations made by the defense into office. And already with the the deaths are on the board, there's 3 members trying to rush into office. 1 C4 is the answer to end the entire round. And KARN & Co. with a 5-1 defense half. We already say that 5-1 on any map is already not great, but it's the defense on bank.
They might have it. Yeah, who knows? It could happen. I changed my prediction. That's all I'm saying. Frozen's gonna DM me after. He's gonna send a text to Olympus like, Carter, why are you hating again? It's like, my bad. My fault.
Why he's spewing so much hate?
No, I mean, ARIAL Academy is certainly a talented team. 5-1 half is not something they probably have been in the deficit before. Don't need to start worrying just yet. Felwinter might see somebody down over by elevator, but Spiker drops down, joins Dami, who is also upstairs, but left just a couple seconds prior. So they've cleared out the roam, or pushed it back, not cleared it out, pushed it back in the first minute. Now Felwinter needs to be careful. He's starting to creep down these stairs in a position where he's got not the best intel. They know that Spiker's an elevator, and now they do know that there's a Valkyrie on the main stairs. So he's playing with a little bit more of a holistic picture. What's on this area? Felwinter will watch to see if the orcs will rotate out, and there's KARN and Zeno close by to maybe help out with the pinch. There's a castle barricade in their way, and KARN will go to open it up, but will he expose himself to the orcs? No, this is a beautifully cooked nade. This should land right next to him, and boom goes the dynamite. First pick for KARN & Co.
That's big. Great intel to know where one person inside elevator to get that pick and then push forward. And especially because there's only, I believe there was some open area. It's frozen, yeah, frozen open area. So there isn't as much of a concentrated roam here from ARIAL Academy compared to KARN & Co. And especially losing that player, now the members of ARIAL Academy, such time wasted, are going to pull back the site. But again, because of the roam, a lot of these hatches are already open. So KARN doesn't do much as the Maverick. Again, if they go for that server play, we'll just open the wall into server. And it's going to be baiting out anything left, whether it be the C4s or the smokes. But again, it looks like, I'm not sure if Frozen already pre-placed that C4, but there's only one C4 and 3 smokes in 44 seconds. So that could be enough to stop this plant, unless someone goes for a misdirection on the side of KARN & Co.
Well, first smoke canister goes out. Zofia concussions in response, but Whitlock does not have enough room or not enough air to breathe if he wants to get that bomb down. He'll move in, start timing it right. Will Hyper send another out? Whitlock might have a little gray area where he can make this work. And he'll go down successfully. He doesn't even lose his life. 1 HP to be sure, but still a 5v4 in ARIAL Academy stuck in the site. One player sitting behind the server rack. I believe that's Felwinter with an LMG. The LMG staring the defense in the face. They go for a large retake upstairs, but it's Felwinter and KARN to get all these kills. KARN blows them all away, knocks them down, grabs match point. We're just one round away from KARN & Co. in the playoffs.
And that was a round where, unfortunately, ARIAL Academy's defense did not have the effect they wanted to compared to KARN & Co. Sure, they wasted 2 minutes, but they lost a member on that. And the utility remaining to deny the plant when it comes to that server, that CCTV plant, was only, 1 C4 and 3 smokes. I mean, you can tell, so far, for whatever reason, they didn't throw the C4 for whatever reason. Maybe they're trying to just go through it systematically because there was still time left. They wanted to maybe make sure they wasted most of the time. So they're sticking to the smoke canisters. But unfortunately, the first smoke canister does the job, pushes Whitlock back from planting. But the second one is off, allows Whitlock to then start planting, and the third is a late, allows Whitlock to finish it. And from that point now, it's a post plant. Already you're at a man disadvantage, and now you have to then spring into action, take these fights, and try to win them long range against people on server, or then, like you saw, run up the stairs, the main stairs, try and retake control of top floor, and then KARN sitting there ready and waiting inside the tellers, using those footholds made by the defense to stop every single one of them. So KARN & Co. match points. We go upstairs to lobby, I'm saying, executive and CEO for ARIAL Academy to keep them alive.
And we saw ARIAL demonstrate perfectly at how, well, to be fair, they still lost it on attack, but
I'm about to say, yeah.
To be fair, up until they started getting the bomb down, they demonstrated some of the weaknesses of this site. Because, as I said, this site becomes impossible to defend once that bomb goes down. And there's not a lot in the way. If you're able to open up those panels, get a player on the rappel, have a couple players for coverage, you get that bomb down, you're almost guaranteed a victory unless a couple of very specific things go your way. For KARN & Co., that's all they need to do. They just need to do what they do best, and that's get their win condition, which is get the bomb down. That's what KARN & Co. revolves around. That's their game plan, is about getting that bomb on the floor. And now they're on a site where if that happens, they're basically able to win. ARIAL Academy need to do everything in their power to stop that from happening, whether it be early round aggression or later on. See KARN & Co. already starting to gain some momentum. As Benny, did he just get a yokai with that?
Yeah, that was an impactful Argus cam. Woo!
Wow.
Wow, that is a perfect Argus cam. Get rid of one of the yokais on top of it, and get rid of the shield now that Frozen was playing behind. So he's gonna pull back into the elevator, throwing grenades, throwing concussions to his way. They know he's in the elevator. They're gonna make sure they clear this as well, because if they clear lobby and they have control of lobby and ATMs, they can make sure that nobody does get picked off of that rappel, like we saw from the side when ARIAL Academy was on the attack. When KARN went for that marathon, he denies that rappel from ATMs from that lobby side. So this is big control for KARN and Co. But so far, this is kind of the main intent from them. So far, they're just trying to putting a lot of stock into walking up these spiral stairs. And good intel knowing one's playing elevator, see if they can find these picks on these defenders, but time is a wasting.
Time is starting to go down, but KARN are eager to get going. Ooh, 2 kills suddenly in a matter of seconds. Make that 3! Make that 4! Dami's suddenly the only one left. He's got a long angle on the Felwinter, but he's got a long chance of making this round happen. 7-1 on their opponent's map pick. Much closer on their own. KARN & Co. make playoffs in much quicker fashion than I think any of us expected going into stage 2. Or stage... Yeah, stage 2. There we go.
Yeah, that was...
Started freaking out for a second.
They've had some 2 games where they've shown us that this team is coming together finally, despite all of our languish and disappointments in the in the previous CL stages. They are coming together well in this SCS stage 2 or season 6 stage 2, and it is a sight to see. It is fantastic.
Yeah, I have to say, I am very excited and very happy to see the new look this team is giving. Made the playoffs out of Group D with 2 best-of-3 wins. I'm going to be honest with you, Benny. I think going into this, even with picking up Feltwinter, based on this team's history, I don't think many of us had them making the playoffs at all because of that history. And yet, not only have they made it after only 2 matches.
And there were some pretty dominant matches too.
Yeah.
Pretty dominant match by KARN & Co. Like, I didn't say they weren't going to make playoffs, but I thought it was going to be, some close best of 3s, whether it be 2 or 3, for making playoffs. They're still growing, they're still figuring things out with Felwinter, but so far it's been none of that. They've had dominant wins against both teams they played, and it's been a sight. It's a great. We love to see this kind of play from them. But so far, either way, ARIAL Academy, they tried to put up a fight. Again, this is still a poke stack that is transitioning into an actual team. In a sense, they're scrimming more, they're playing regularly, so they still have things to figure out. And so far, at least, hey, they put up a good fight on Coastline. Unfortunately, banked their map pick. Not going great.
Yeah, and of course, later on tonight, the story is not done for ARIAL Academy. They're not playing later tonight, if you were confused by what I was saying. They're not playing later on. They will be playing the winner of our elimination match later on tonight, which is West Garfield Park versus Shift. So whoever wins that match will play ARIAL Academy, and that will be 1 best-of-3 separating between playoffs or elimination. So ARIAL Academy, their hope is just starting to run out, but they still have a little bit to hang on before everything is said and done. And I hope they do end up making it. It would be sad. They made the playoffs last time, upsetting a lot of our expectations. I think overperforming in some aspects, but here, I want to see them regain some of that former glory, because I know they have the potential to do it.
Yeah, I think they have the potential. They've already showed us they've beaten teams already in this CL teams in the first matchup against as well. They showed us they have the potential. Just gotta work at them more, figure teams out. Either way, they play either Shift or West Garfield Park. That'll be a game to see, and then a game to test out how this team's transitioning now to an actual team, now scrimming, now playing together more often. How are they gonna do rather than being that pug stack that we're all just kind of betting on in a sense.
Well, we do have an interview up with one of the players of KARN & Co. It was our highlight player of the night and one of the standout performers of the match, like he always is. We have Mikey to talk to. So let's throw him up. Mikey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I kind of sound whack right now. I just got my wisdom teeth taken out, so... Yeah.
Wait, when you say just got your wisdom teeth taken out, what do you mean by just?
I got it out 2 days ago, but I still can't really open my mouth.
I was about to ask. I was like, you didn't get him out today, right? Like, if you just beat a team 2-0 with your wisdom teeth out, that'd be ridiculous. But okay. I do want to ask you right off the bat, you guys have been doing the best recently with KARN & Co. Even with your addition on the roster, you guys have been struggling. And yet somehow in SCS, just by bringing on 1 player, you guys have done a complete 180, not only making playoffs, but making playoffs after 2 best-of-3 victories. What has changed on this team that has seemed to be the cause of this dramatic change?
With the addition of Felt, we took time and coordinated as a team. Like before, we had a lot of issues with just mid-round adjustments, And with Feld on the team, he brings a lot of comms and early comms with him being on entry now, and it just makes everything a lot smoother.
Well, and also, again, to take a similar line of questioning about your performance as well, you kind of struggled on the roster initially going in. For you in particular, was it just kind of adjusting to this new structure, or is it with the addition of Feltwinter, are you able to really shine alongside him on some of those more aggressive roles?
Yeah, I think me on entry in the beginning of the stages, I think it was a lot harder, and I think I had to adjust to the playstyle this team brought from like previous teams. And just now I'm getting into the transitioning and I'm playing a lot better.
And I know one thing Benny and I were definitely very surprised by was you guys picking Coastline. Now, that is a map that, for this core, we would not have really expected them to go with, and yet it was a map you guys to pick. Is that indicative of that playstyle shift? Are you more comfortable, or is this team more comfortable going to those more aggressive maps? Is it something you're pursuing?
I mean, personally, we're comfortable on all maps, and we had a VOD on them for Coast, and it just matched up perfectly. We knew what maps we're getting into. We read everything, and we did perfect. Fame, our analyst / coach, he did a lot of work with the map phases, and he did good.
All right, well, I know Benny and I were at least happy to see something outside of the norm. A Coast Bank is not exactly a combination we see all too often, so I enjoyed not only watching you definitely improve in this stage, but also the team as a whole not only make playoffs, but do so in stunning fashion. Very quick one tonight, and not one I expected to be very quick. So anything you want to say, Mikey, before we sign off?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Well, good luck recovering with the rest of your wisdom teeth,
Thank
and
you.
good job on the victory today.
Thank you.
I was about to say, if that man was playing with his wisdom teeth out the same day, I would have lost my mind.
I gotta tell, it seems like it's hard for me to talk too. I don't know. It must have been painful to be talking throughout the time, trying to calm with the wisdom teeth out and trying to deal with that pain.
I realized about halfway through, I was like, maybe I should stop asking questions. The man did just get his wisdom teeth out.
Dude, props to him though.
It's like,
Able to
maybe-
still talk and communicate.
Yeah, I will. I'll give him that. Man's still trying to calm, and he can barely feel his gums. Either way, if you want to take a look at the stats, obviously, Mikey Feltwinter doing very good. But look at that Carnage B, the IGL hard support. He was like 1 and something on Coastline for a majority of the round,
clutching
and he is 12-3 this go round. Even got 2 entry kills.
Yeah, dude, clutching rounds, getting 3Ks for his team. He was doing so much on Bank here. And I wonder, like, dude, I still wonder, like, Aero Academy picking Bank was interesting. I wonder what the motivation or the reason was to pick Bank, personally.
I mean, clearly it was something they were feeling comfortable on, maybe something they wanted to try out, practice on game day, or get some game day reps on. But clearly, as maybe Mikey said, maybe Fame had prepped the map ban simulation to see what might happen. And the cards came down and foretold a Bank pick coming out from ARIAL. Don't want to take a look at the series stats overall and just compounding what we already knew. KARN & Co. across the board having a great game. Xeno stepping a bit ahead of the rest, and sure, maybe Mikey wasn't performing as well as Xeno, but both the trio of Xeno, Mikey, Feltwinter not only showing that they have what it takes on this team, but showing that they are an entry trio in a way to be feared with the addition of Feltwinter.
Dude, 4-1, 3-1. Feltwinter and Mikey going off there. Sure, not the greatest KD, not a crazy KD, but still doing great in their roles, like you said. And then, of course, Aero Academy trying their best. Spiker and his team, Domi doing the best there, but it seemed like they were just unfortunately outclassed due to how prepped KARN & Co. seem these days. And a pug stack that's trying to just do a new team going against a real structured team in both preparation. You can tell from what Mikey said, they prepped. They had a band simulator, for God's sakes. VOD review.
Yeah, that's just Fame's thing. I don't know if he still uses it, but I saw something like it. I was like, that's weird. Okay. But that is the first series done. KARN & Co. have made playoffs. ARIAL Rise Academy will go to the decider. Before we go, just want to thank Mike and Ike's one more time for me. Throw up the graphic. There we go. Booster shot cannot stop this man, even though he's probably in a fever right now. You can get the Mike and Ike's original mix, which is not pictured here. Or if you want to up your flavor game, you can go with the Mike and Ike Mega Mix, which has so many flavors, I can't even count that high, despite the fact I have 10 fingers. Or if you're feeling something a bit more tart, a bit more dangerous, a bit more extreme, you get the Mega Mix Sour, just the 10 flavors. But sour. I don't like sour candy. Not my thing personally. But if it's yours, go get some Mike and Ike's at, I don't know, store, gas station. They usually sell them anywhere. Go into a general store. You'll probably find it. Benny, that's enough for us, Series 1. Do you have anything to say before you and I hand it over to Harrison and Jonah?
No, I'm satisfied. That was a great 2 maps. I love seeing other maps, seeing like see teams try different things. Shouldn't work out for Air Academy, but I think to see them still try to experiment with Bank was great to see.
I certainly enjoyed seeing some experimentation. We'll see if the teams are just as generous with Harrison and Jonah after we come back from this break. They will take you through the Group D elimination match. So goodbye from me, goodbye from Benny, and SCS will be back after this break.
Have to get aggressive. Reese looking for it.